Chapter 1040. Sacred soil was not an ordinary soil. It was a real fertile soil for any herb. The so-called sacred soil was the soil that had changed after being surrounded by the holy chi. It was contaminated with the holy chi and became an extraordinary soil. It was called sacred soil. As long as the herb was planted on it, it could grow quickly and greatly shorten the maturity period of the herb. It also had a high chance of becoming a sacred medicine. For example, if an ordinary herb wanted to become a 100-year spirit medicine, it would take 100 years to grow. However, if it was planted on sacred soil, it could become a 100-year spirit medicine in 1 or 2 months. Even if it was a king medicine or even a heavenly medicine, the maturity period would be greatly shortened. It was one of the best soil for growing herbs. Sacred soil was not easy to condense. First, it needed sacred blood, sacred corpse, or sacred bones. Moreover, it needed a large amount. It was not something that could be condensed with a small number of sacred objects. After a long time of precipitation and change, it would become a real sacred soil. Yang Wu did not expect to find sacred soil as soon as he entered here. It really shocked him. However, the sacred soil here seemed to be a little different. It was corroded by some inexplicable power, causing the plants to not grow. Yang Wu was very distressed. Yang Wu did not give up on the sacred soil. He continued to dig and found that it was sacred bones buried here. These sacred bones had become part of the soil. It was this that nourished the sacred soil. What kind of power affected the growth of the plants? Yang Wu sat down and meditated. He must find the reason. To him, the sacred soil was very important. He could bring it back for his mother to plant herbs and cultivate a medicine garden. It could grow herbs for him endlessly. This was an excellent soil second only to yellow sky thick earth, earth of all things, and chaotic divine earth. Yang Wu thought for a while and did not come to any conclusion. He began to wonder if it was because the heaven and earth xianqi here was thin, or if it was because of the gravity problem and other environmental factors that caused the plants to not grow. He struggled for a while and still felt that it was not the case. When he activated his power, he finally found the key. He jumped up from the ground and exclaimed, "It's evil qi. It's the evil qi here that affected the growth of the plant. No. There seems to be another kind of power. Let me sense it carefully." Yang Wu closed his eyes and forced himself to calm down. He activated the evil dragon aura in his body and found that there was a slight connection with the air here. The evil dragon aura in this world was very familiar to him, but he couldn't tell what kind of power it was at the moment. When he thought of the true dragon and the phoenix, he finally knew what kind of power it was. It was the power of fire, the flame of the phoenix. The blue demoness in his heart started to beat and immediately absorbed the fire energy in the air. He could immediately confirm that it was the power of the phoenix flames. A type of dragon evil qi can rot the plants here, and this extreme yang power makes it difficult for the plants to grow. So, the sacred secret soil here is useless. If I take it away, I should be able to grow a large amount of herbs. Yang Wu understood the situation here and a joyful smile appeared on his face. Just as he dug up all the sacred secret soil here, he felt a few auras approach his position. Yang Wu looked around and saw that it was an empty space. There was no place for him to hide, so he decided not to avoid it. He continued to dig his saint's secret soil. As long as the other party did not come to ask for a rebuff, it would be fine. If they did not open their eyes, he did not mind raising his ranking. Now, the Heavenly Dragon ranking and Heavenly Phoenix ranking had been reset to 0. The prediction ranking had disappeared and was replaced by the number on the Jade token. As long as one defeated any opponent in this space, they could increase their ranking until the most powerful person was determined. The opponents here were all opponents with Jade tokens. This included the spirit devils, outsiders, demons, and so on. The 100,000 young creatures were all opponent. During the battle of the dragons and phoenixes, Whoever won the most battles could ascend to the top and become the emperor. However, each race had their own ranking. For example, each race would rank the most powerful person. They were not ranked together. For example, if a human defeated 100 people and 100 spirit devils, that would be 200 victories. If no one could surpass that number, then that person would ascend to the position of the Dragon Emperor. This ranking would only be on the human ranking and not the spirit devil ranking. Similarly, if a powerful being with a spirit devil clan won against a spirit devil clan or a human, he would only be ranked on the spirit devil clan ranking. A ranking like this would not affect the most powerful person of each race. It could also be used to train them in the cruelest way. It was indeed the most valuable battle. Not long after, a few figures appeared behind Yang Wu. Aside from the scorpion demon, there was a rat demon, a centipede demon, a snake demon, and a poisonous bee demon. They were known as the 5 poison demons. TSK. Who would have thought that this damned place would almost separate us siblings? Luckily, we're not too far away. The rat demon in the lead spoke in an unpleasant voice. He was the smallest and looked the most wretched. However, he was the strongest and his poison was the strongest. That young human in front is not bad. I feel that his blood energy is very strong. I'm already very hungry. The snake demon beside the rat demon said. His skin is soft and tender. Why don't you give him to Big Sister? The poisonous bee demon laughed. She was a poison empress and ranked second among the 5 poison demons. That guy seems to have discovered something. Let's hurry over and take a look. The third-ranked centipede said coldly. The 5 poison demons sped up and surrounded Yang Wu. Don't underestimate him. He's very strong. The scorpion demon, ranked last, warned. In front of the 5 poison demons, even if he's a saint, he'll die. The rat demon said confidently. Yang Wu stopped digging and turned around to look at the approaching 5 poison demons. The prey that was sent up is unfortunately poisonous. I'm afraid they'll die from the poison if we roast them. Human brat, obediently admit defeat and surrender. Be our human pet and you'll have a way out. The snake demon said coldly. Yang Wu stood up straight and slightly twisted his body. He faintly said, I'll take care of all of you in 5 breaths. Arrogant guy. Set up the 5 poison array and kill him. The rat demon felt the aura erupting from Yang Wu's body and immediately became alert. He was born with this kind of innate ability. In the next moment, the 5 demons attacked at the same time. They did not dare to be negligent in the slightest. Rat venom, bee-tail needle, centipede chi, snake bite, scorpion sting. The 5 poison demons split up in different directions and used different innate abilities. The poisonous gas was extremely smelly, the stingers were sharp, and the venomous fangs were sinister. They formed a poison array that crazily fell towards Yang Wu. Saint-level living beings did not want to touch any of these poisons. If non-saint-level living beings touched them, they would definitely die in a short period of time. Yang Wu was surrounded by these powers. The already bad air became even worse. A sense of disgust rose in his heart. He shouted, Blue Demoness, kill them all! Suddenly, a deep blue flame ignited in his heart. The flame turned into a black tortoise. It opened its mouth and charged towards the poisonous creatures. Pung pung. In an instant, whether it was the poisonous liquid or the poisonous gas, the stingers or the poisonous gas, they were all burned away by the sacred flame. The 5 poison demons were given a big fright. They had met their nemesis. If they did not run now, when would they? This time, they escaped from the ground like the scorpion demon. However, this time, Yang Wu was already prepared. Blue Demoness turned into a sea of fire and landed on the ground first. The raging flames spread out. Just as the 5 poison demons wanted to touch the ground, they were roasted by Blue Demoness. They could only fly in the air and escape. However, the gravity here was very strong. Their speed was greatly affected. Every movement was seen by Yang Wu. Yang Wu murmured, mystical flame technique. Blue Demoness split into 5 and attacked the 5 poisons with precision. The 5 poison demons were able to enter here with the Jade Badge. They were quite capable. Once again, they used their poison techniques to block Blue Demoness' fire. Little brother, we were just fooling around just now. Can you stop playing with fire? The Rat Demon yelled. The Centipede Demon also shouted, we're not playing anymore. We'll leave immediately. Put away your fire. Hee hee, if you don't want to play, I'll play. Yang Wu sneered. He flicked his 10 fingers and the 5 flames seemed to have a life of their own. They circled around the 5 poison demons and bared their fangs and claws. This kind of fire control technique came from the inheritance left behind by an extremely powerful being. When Yang Wu cultivated it, he also wanted to increase his ability to control fire. He and Blue Demoness were one. With the mystical flame technique, he could use any technique he wanted. The 5 flames turned into 5 fire demons. The firepower was sometimes big and sometimes small. They attacked the 5 poison demons from the left and the right, forcing them into a difficult situation. Do you really think you can kill us just because we're afraid of fire? If you force us into a corner, we'll drag you down with us. The poisonous queen bee shrieked. A stinger shot toward Yang Wu. This stinger was her natal stinger. It contained the most domineering poison and was extremely sharp. It could pierce through Saint armor. Its speed was very fast. It was not something an ordinary person could block. Yang Wu was not an ordinary person. His ability in all aspects was far above the 5 poisons. Even if the opponent was going all out, he could still sense it clearly. With a flick of his finger, another fireball shot out. The firepower collided with the wasp tail needle and blocked it. Impossible, buzz buzz. The stinger still could not block Blue Demoness' flames. It melted quickly. The poisonous queen bee suffered a backlash. Her body returned to its original form. Liquid spurted out from her body. She was clearly injured. It was also at this moment that Lan Yaoji wrapped her up and burned her to death mercilessly. The other 4 poison demons were frightened. They all used their life-saving trump cards. Rat escape. Centipede slash. Snake severed hair. Scorpion wing flight. Mystical flame technique, sea transformation. Yang Wu did not care what they used. He shouted and formed a seal with both hands. The firepower erupted and formed a sea wave. It burned the 4 poison demons into ashes. Yang Wu won 5 rounds. Chapter 1041. The Dragon Phoenix Abyss was a gray world. There was no light nor complete darkness. There was only a sense of desolation and loneliness. This world was not small. Even a minor saint would not be able to reach the other side in a short period of time, even if they flew at full speed. This place was roughly as big as the transcendent world. There was no danger here for the time being. Most of the creatures that came in were killing each other, competing for the highest ranking of each race. In a spacious area, a young man was roasting meat over a fire. This rat meat is tough, but the taste is not bad. This snake gallbladder is quite big. It is not worse than my 6-flavor earth yellow pill. I will eat it. This scorpion can be used as medicine. I will not eat it for now. Beside the young man were the corpses of 5 venomous creatures. He had dissected them and grilled the rat and snake meat. This young man's culinary skills were not bad. After adding some herbs, the stench of the demon meat was removed and the fragrance of herbs was added. This was the unique skill of an alchemist. This young man was Yang Wu, who had entered the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. After killing the 5 venomous creatures, there was an additional number of 5 on his jade token. This meant that he had won 5 battles and was ranked 555th on the Heavenly Dragon leaderboard. When Yang Wu saw this number, his eyes widened. He had won 5 battles as soon as he entered, and he was still outside the top 5,000. There were more than 5,000 people in front of him. This showed how fierce the competition was. The jade token allowed him to see other people's rankings, but he did not want to pay attention to it for now. He wanted to let the others fight to the death. He only had one goal now, and that was to find another type of mysterious essence chi. He had already forgotten about the name of the Dragon Emperor. After eating the rat and snake meat, he sat down to refine the demon meat. Strands of energy seeped into his body. He could not help but sigh softly. This spiritual demon meat contains extraordinary energy. It can even improve my divine body. It seems that eating more high-grade demon meat is beneficial. He had just eaten the flesh of a skyward rat and a 5-colored snake. These two races were extremely powerful in the spirit demon tribe. They were the representatives of these two races and had outstanding cultivation talent. How could Yang Wu's physical strength not increase after eating them? Yang Wu had been here for less than half a day and had gradually adapted to the environment. Even though the gravity was still there, its influence on him was slowly decreasing. This was the power of the Supreme Nine Profound Art. The gravitational force could suppress his physical body, but it could not suppress the circulation of the profound art. Although it was slower than the circulation in the outside world, it was beneficial for tempering the extreme circulation speed. After leaving this place, it would definitely be on a higher level. The only thing to note was that the Xian Qi of heaven and earth here was very thin. If one were to fight here and expend energy, it would be very difficult to absorb energy from the outside world to replenish it. One had to rely on the accumulation of time, or Xian spirit stones to replenish it, or even herbs and elixirs to replenish it. This meant that those with great wealth could live a long and comfortable life here. This was not a problem for Yang Wu at all. He had several million saint spirit stones in his Qianquan space. It was possible for him to be the richest person here. In addition, Yang Wu had just killed the 5 poisonous beasts and plundered many good things from them. They were all useful to him. Yang Wu had rested enough and continued to dig. He was a little regretful that he had just killed the 5 poisonous beasts. It would have been better if he had left them to dig with him. At the moment, he only had one lightning-absorbing puppet on him. He had obtained it from Duanren City. This puppet could absorb lightning, but it was not very useful for digging. The sacred secret soil here was not small. If he dug it all out, it would definitely be enough to plant a medicinal garden. Thinking about this, Yang Wu was filled with motivation. He began to dig faster and even called the sacred mandala flower to dig with him. The sacred mandala flower had been impatient for a long time. This sacred secret soil was very important to her. If she attached herself to it, she could make up for the effects of Yang Wu signing a master-servant contract and increase her cultivation speed. "Master, I don't think this place is safe," said the sacred mandala flower, while opening her petals and vines to dig the soil. She looked worried. "Why do you say that?" asked Yang Wu. "The atmosphere here is not very good. It feels like a graveyard. Look at the holy corpses. Their bones have never melted, but they melted here. There must be something extremely dangerous here," said the sacred mandala flower. "You are very smart. You're really smart. This place is called a forbidden area, so of course it's not a safe place. Even if there's a ferocious almighty being here, they won't pay attention to us. We're still too weak. Hurry up and help me gather all the soil. Yes, even the bones. Don't take the opportunity to devour these bones. Don't you feel disgusted?" "Master, I grew up eating soil. Do you want to join me? It is very nutritious." "Forget it. I am not that poor that I have to eat soil. You should control yourself." Yang Wu spent 2 days digging up all the sacred secret soil. There was still some good soil in the surroundings, but he didn't want to dig anymore. He always felt that digging like this wasn't the same thing. He wanted to get a group of puppets and let them dig. The most important thing right now was to find the profound essence chi. At the same time, his ranking on the heavenly dragon list had dropped out of the 6,000. He was speechless. I don't know when the space of the Dragon Phoenix abyss will open again. These guys are really crazy. Yang Wu sighed in his heart. The more they did not know when the time would end, the more the geniuses tried to kill their opponent. Only by maintaining a high ranking would they be able to gain more reputation in the end. Yang Wu was very strange. Why were there so few creatures here? Other than the 5 poisons at the beginning, the other creatures were not here. Did they go somewhere else? He realized that other creatures might have found this place different and went to look for opportunities. I have to go, Yang Wu said. He took the sacred mandala flower and began to speed up in the direction of the mysterious essence Qi. This was really a barren land. After walking for half a day, he still saw empty lands and bare mountains. Moreover, he found that the quality of the stones here was really very good. Every piece was comparable to a heaven material, and there were even minor saint-level ones. He had already collected a few pieces of stone. He thought that there might even be saint-level stones here. Not long after, he found some more mysterious essence Qi. He looked at it and felt his heart itch. He could only choose to ignore it and continue moving forward. He ran faster and faster. The potential of the wind god's legs was squeezed out bit by bit. He felt very good. Suddenly, he sensed a weak aura nearby. The other party hid very well. If his senses were not sharp enough, he would not have noticed the other party's existence. He pretended not to notice the other party's existence and continued to run forward. Just as he was about to get close to the other party, a large net suddenly enveloped him. It was a spider's web. Yang Wu was caught in the other party's web. GG, delicious food. An evil voice sounded. Then, the other party retracted the net. Yang Wu saw the other party's appearance. It was a demon spider. Its body was not particularly big. It should have shrunk its body size. It had 2 evil eyes, 8 sickle-like claws, and a spider web in its mouth. Its whole body was suffused with a black aura. It was the unique evil aura of the Devil Clan. Yang Wu rarely came into contact with the Devil Clan except for fighting against the Evil Clan and the Devil Clan in the City of Redemption. After a few years, he finally had the chance again. Just as he was about to be swallowed by the demon spider, the blue flames on his body floated. The sharp spider silk broke inch by inch. The demon spider showed a surprised expression. It sprayed venom from its mouth toward Yang Wu like a fountain. The air was corroded and sizzled. Yang Wu quickly retreated. The ground was touched by the venom and immediately corroded into a poisonous pit. He exclaimed in his heart, "What an overbearing poison!" The soil here was different. It was very hard. Even a heaven realm creature may not be able to break it. The demon spider's venom could cause such destructive power. It was enough to show how overbearing the other party's venom was. The next moment, the demon spider waved its claws and slashed at Yang Wu. The demon spider's attack speed was very fast. Its claws were like blades as they slashed through the air, like chopping vegetables and cutting melons. Yang Wu retreated again. One of the other party's claws scratched his body. His clothes instantly tore open and a shallow mark appeared. Venom seeped into his body and black aura floated. He couldn't help but gasp, hiss. He had the sacred dragon body, but he was still injured by the other party. This demon spider was too strong. His reaction is very fast. This human is not easy to deal with. The demon spider was even more surprised than Yang Wu. He was ranked very high in the younger generation of the demon race and had killed dozens of creatures. He didn't expect this young man in front of him to be so powerful and easily dodge his attack. The demon spider didn't dare to be careless. It spat out another mouthful of venom. It splashed at Yang Wu like rain. At the same time, its claws danced even faster. Sharp rays of light slashed out, blocking Yang Wu's path. It had to kill Yang Wu as quickly as possible. Kill! Yang Wu was also angry. He roared and the black tortoise battle armor appeared on his body. The powerful force reflected the venom. He punched out with both fists. It was as if a barbaric eagle had appeared, responding to the demon spider's attack with the sharpest barbaric fist. The demon spider was shocked. It had clearly injured the other party just now. The other party should have been poisoned. Why was he able to fight back as if nothing had happened? He didn't care so much and used all his strength to attack the other party. Bang bang! The sickle-like power intertwined with the fist energy. Bursts of power rolled out and cracks appeared on the ground. Such a powerful attack only caused so little damage. It was clear that the environment here was unique. Who was stronger in the end? Chapter 1042. Humans had the Dragon Phoenix role, Spirit Fae had the Azure Fae role, and Fiends had the Heavenly Fiend role. The Fiend Spider was ranked in the top 50 of the Heavenly Fiend role. It was definitely an extremely high ranking. After all, they were ranked together with 20,000 fiends. Furthermore, the fiends were stronger than humans and Spirit Fae. The fiend talents the fiends possessed were especially hard to defend against. Historically, only the battle race could engage in large-scale battles with the fiends. When other humans fought against the fiends, it was nearly impossible for them to gain an advantage. The fiend spider's name was Eighth Zhu. It was adept at concealment and assassination. It had already killed 14 fiends. Such a fiend was something humans did not wish to encounter the most. After Yang Wu killed 5 poisons, he encountered such a vicious fiend. It was unknown if his luck was too bad or too good. Yang Wu believed that he could easily suppress his opponent, but in the end, he only had a slight advantage. He was unable to overwhelm and slaughter his opponent. If not for his poison-impenetrable body, he might have been the one defeated. This fiend spider is very strong. I can't hold back. Yang Wu thought to himself as he increased the speed of his attacks. He circled behind Eighth Zhu and kicked out with his wind god leg at Eighth Zhu's back. The leg beam lashed out like a whip, ruthlessly landing on Eighth Zhu's buttock. Eighth Zhu's figure was sent flying as he let out a strange cry. What a troublesome human! I'll definitely eat you up. At the next moment, he used his fiend divine powers. A gigantic net rapidly formed, enveloping a radius of half a kilometer. Yang Wu did not have the time to escape. The net this time was different from the first time. Apart from containing poison, it was also extremely sticky. Even a saint might not be able to escape if they were stuck. Yang Wu's legs were stuck. No matter how he twitched, he was unable to escape the sticky force. He exclaimed, "Oh no! You can't be arrogant now, right?" Eighth Zhu crawled towards Yang Wu and said with a smile. Following that, his front claws slashed at Yang Wu's head and heart like blades. It is indeed a very powerful talent, but it is really useless to me. Yang Wu went into defense mode. The black tortoise battle armor protected him impenetrably. Even if Eighth Zhu's claws fell, they couldn't break his attack and were even deflected. Ding dang ding dang. The sound of weapons clashing rang out, creating dazzling sparks. Your defense is really strong. I don't believe that I can't break it, Zhu Ba said with a hint of fear. He changed his method again and spat out more venom. He planned to use the corrosive nature of the venom to completely eliminate Yang Wu. Yang Wu wasn't going to give him another chance. Blue Enchantress's power rushed out and burned the spider webs and slime. Blue Yao Ji was a holy flame, and it was not an ordinary holy flame. Its firepower was enough to scare even saints, let alone Eighth Zhu. F*CK, I can't stand this guy. I'll run. Eighth Zhu was certain that the human in front of him was too difficult to deal with. He didn't want to waste his energy here. It was better to leave it to stop other living beings. Eighth Zhu fled as soon as he said so. His speed was very fast. He crawled with his 8 claws and ran a mile away in the blink of an eye. If I let you escape, how am I going to survive? Yang Wu roared and chased after him. When he got close to Eighth Zhu, he bounced up and stomped heavily on Eighth Zhu's back, causing Eighth Zhu to sink into the ground. In terms of speed, Yang Wu wasn't necessarily slower than other living beings. In fact, He was much faster. It was the same even if he didn't cultivate the wind profound chi. His wind god's leg was integrated with the black tortoise steps, greatly increasing his speed. 8th Zhu couldn't escape his pursuit. After he used his full strength, 8th Zhu could only be slaughtered by him. 8th Zhu spat out poison from Yang Wu's stomp. This guy's reaction was very fast. His 8 claws were actually able to resist. At the same time, he launched a pincer attack at Yang Wu. This time, Yang Wu didn't dodge. The black tortoise's battle-profound armor blocked the attack. He lifted his leg and stomped down again, turning 8th Zhu's tough body into a bloody mess. GG. 8th Zhu was completely anxious. His eyes were suffused with waves of devil chi. Another large web wrapped around Yang Wu. There was also a devil weapon hidden in it that pierced towards Yang Wu. The spider web was just a feint. That strange devil weapon was his true killing move. Yang Wu quickly soared into the sky. Even though he was suppressed by the gravity, his height wasn't low. He narrowly avoided the opponent's attack. If he was half a beat slower, the devil weapon would have hit him. This devil weapon was definitely not an ordinary item. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been scared off. 8th Zhu bellowed fiercely, "You don't have the qualifications to kill me." Under the control of 8th Zhu's spiderweb, the devil weapon blasted towards Yang Wu. It was a devil sickle that had reached the sacred rank. It was his life-saving trump card. Sacred weapons, right? Then let's compete. Yang Wu was also enraged. With a bellow, a black sickle appeared in his hand. It was somewhat similar to 8th Zhu's devil sickle. When the two sickles clashed, sparks flew as 8th Zhu's sickle was sent flying. Before 8th Zhu could react, the death chi enveloped him. The death chi began to rob 8th Zhu of his vitality. Yang Wu's death sickle slashed down once again. Pua pua. 8th Zhu's body bloomed as black demonic blood seeped out. It was so painful that he screamed. The death chi entered his body through his wounds. His vitality rapidly disappeared, scaring him so much that he peed his pants. "I admit defeat, don't kill me." 8th Zhu was completely scared. He was still a young demonic spider. He didn't want to die like this and quickly surrendered. Yang Wu's death sickle stabbed into his body. The death Dao was taken back and 8th Zhu almost fainted from the pain. This youth was too ruthless. He was even more ruthless than the devil race. "You caused me to waste so much energy. I'll kill you and be done with it," Yang Wu said fiercely. "Don't. I admit defeat. Spare my life. I'll give you all my gains." 8th Zhu quickly spat out 3 yin and yang rings. They were his spoils of war. Yang Wu unceremoniously put away these spoils of war and said, "Obediently submit to me and be my servant. Otherwise, die." "Yes, yes, I submit. I'm willing to be your servant," 8th Zhu quickly responded. "Then quickly take out your devil race contract. You and I will sign a master and servant contract. This. I don't need this. I will definitely be loyal." "Is that so? I only believe that dead creatures are absolutely loyal. I'll die with you." The pitiful 8th Zhu didn't have time to die with him. His body was pierced by Yang Wu's blade, and he was directly slaughtered. Yang Wu wanted to spare his life, but unfortunately, the other party didn't cherish it. 8th Zhu's fighting strength was very strong. Even if he faced Ao Changzhan, he might not necessarily lose. If he was left as a living puppet, he would have another powerful fighter. It was really a pity. After Yang Wu killed him, he didn't throw away 8th Zhu's body. He had the puppet control technique and could try to refine 8th Zhu into a dead puppet. There was a big difference between a living puppet and a dead puppet. A living puppet could still have its own fighting consciousness. A dead puppet was controlled by its master and lost its own will. "I still have to spend a lot of effort. It's really troublesome." Yang Wu sighed. The sacred mandala flower appeared and said, "Why don't you let me eat him? This fellow has high-level demon blood, and it's useful to me." You can devour the bloodline, but leave the body for me. I still have a use for it, Yang Wu replied. Okay, I promise to leave you a perfect body. The sacred mandala flower replied excitedly. A demonic flower wrapped around 8th Zhu's body and devoured his bloodline power. 8th Zhu's corpse that had lost its bloodline shrunk once again. Yang Wu was worried that he would be useless. He began to meditate on the puppet control technique and sent his mental intent directly into 8th Zhu's demon core. He forcefully imprinted his mental intent to control it. 8th Zhu's demon core was still very strong. It formed its own defensive power and blocked Yang Wu outside. I'm already dead and you still won't let me go. I'll fight it out with you. 8th Zhu's demon soul roared. Then let's die a bit more thoroughly, Yang Wuyo said coldly. He used his powerful soul power to imprint the puppet-controlling curse and continued to imprint. 1 failure. 2 failures. 3 failures. After the 13th failure, he finally imprinted his mental intent into 8th Zhu's demon soul. 8th Zhu's soul power completely disappeared. 8th Zhu became Yang Wu's undead puppet. However, Yang Wu wasn't satisfied with this puppet. If he used some special method to refine him, he would become even more powerful. But now, he could only make do with it. The current 8th Zhu's combat strength had decreased by more than half compared to when he was alive. He could only fight against ordinary peak minor saints. Moreover, he needed Yi Shiwen's mental intent to control him. Yang Wu used him as his mount and continued to move forward while sitting cross-legged on his body. He didn't know that 8th Zhu's death had shaken the devil race. 8th Zhu is dead. How could he die so quickly? My good brother, I will definitely avenge you and tear the culprit to pieces, a demon roared angrily from another direction. That's right. I will definitely avenge you and tear the murderer to pieces. This creature was 8th Zhu's good brother. His strength was higher than 8th Zhu's. He couldn't accept the fact that 8th Zhu was killed. He cast a secret technique and began to search for the direction where 8th Zhu was killed. He quickly rushed towards that direction. 8th Zhu's prince has been killed. Who is so bold? It shouldn't be a devil race creature. Could it be a foreign race or spirit demon race? No matter which race it is, we must find out the truth. Otherwise, we will all suffer. Could it be the human race? I heard that this year's batch of humans is stronger than the previous ones. Plus, they are irreconcilable with our race. Perhaps they work together to kill Lord Zhu. Chapter 1043. The vast land, the quiet bald mountain, the cold wind, and the lonely figure. Following the opening of the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, battles broke out in every direction. Many young creatures died one after another. The competition was extremely cruel and intense. Whoever survived until the end would be the winner. The human race had lost 1/10 of its 20,000 people. This meant that 2,000 young geniuses had died an unnatural death. If this continued, it would be lucky if more than half of the people were still alive by the end of the Battle of Dragons and Phoenixes. The rankings on the Dragon Phoenix list were constantly changing. Sometimes someone would rise to the top, and sometimes someone would fall off the altar. There were also people who disappeared directly. It would take some time for the rankings to stabilize. The first place on the Heavenly Dragon list wasn't the first Palace Lord, who was predicted to be the first on the list. Instead, it was the saint from the previous generation of the Moon Worship demonic sect. In just a few days, he had already won 36 consecutive battles. His strength was indeed formidable. He was only ranked in the top 50 on the list. The second place was a peerless genius from the Radiant cult. He had also won 34 battles. He was only 2 battles away from the first place. Originally, he did not reveal his talent on the Heavenly Dragon list. The third place was a monstrous genius from the Holocaust sect. He was once ranked in the top 20 of the Heavenly Dragon list. The first Palace Lord, Jin Juezi, and Koan Mingzi were not bad either. They had won more than 10 battles and were ranked in the top 500. No one would think that they were willing to be left out. It would not be long before they would explode with powerful strength and kill their way to the front. The Heavenly Phoenix list had also changed a lot. However, it was not as big as the Heavenly Dragon list. The woman who reached the top was from the Xianyuan clan. She was not the original third princess, but the seventh princess, Xianyuan Hou. This was an extremely dazzling young lady. There was a difference of several decades between her and the third princess, but her talent was definitely among the strongest. Now, she had obtained 44 victories, 8 more than the number 1 on the Heavenly Dragon ranking. The second place was the previous generation's Saint Daughter of Mount Amei. She had won 32 battles. Xianyuan Hou had won 12 battles. The gap was a little ugly. The third place was impressively Yang Wu's old acquaintance, Pan Xiaoxin. She had won 30 battles. Yang Wu didn't have time to pay attention to the ranking list for the time being. Ever since he controlled Zhu Ba as a puppet, he had been on his way. In order to save time, even if he encountered a lot of good materials on the way, he only took a small amount and didn't collect all of them. He was afraid that the mysterious Qi essence would be taken away by others in advance. Originally, he wanted to use the sacred mandala flower as a scout and let her observe the situation here, as well as the situation of the other creatures. She said that she was afraid of death and didn't dare to go. She always felt that there was something dangerous here. Yang Wu couldn't force her, so he could only rely on his intuition to hurry along. He had finally encountered a human. The other party was fighting while he watched from afar. His face was filled with shock. There weren't many creatures that could move Yang Wu, and the one in front of him was definitely one of them. It was a monk who looked extremely young. He wore monk robes that revealed half of his shoulder, and his entire body was suffused with a dense golden light. He was like a golden sun, but also like a golden dragon swaying in the wind. He was extremely dazzling, and his terrifying aura had a great impact. In front of him were 3 powerful creatures of the devil race, but they were smashed into powder by him with a single slap. Their opponents didn't even have the strength to fight back. In addition, there were 5 people following him. They all looked at him with a pious expression as if they were worshipping their king without the slightest pretense. "It's him!" Yang Wu exclaimed in his heart. More than 2 years ago, when he was on his way to the Hidden Heaven realm, he entered a place called Hidden Heaven and encountered a coffin. There was a living creature inside. At that time, Yang Wu couldn't see him, but Qing Feng did. She also branded him with the appearance of that creature, reminding him to be careful if he met him in the future. Yang Wu had always thought that the creature was an existence of the Saint Realm. Now that he saw him in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, he realized that his strength hadn't reached the Saint Realm, not even the half-step Saint Realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to enter this place. Yang Wu quickly found out the origin of the other party from the Jade Token, and a piece of information appeared in his mind. Jin Qiu, 55 years old, defeated 12 opponents, won 12 battles, lost none, ranked 3638th on the Heavenly Dragon list. It can't be wrong, it must be him. Yang Wu's face revealed a dignified expression as he thought to himself. After killing the 3 devils, Jin Qiu looked towards Yang Wu's direction. That pair of golden eyes seemed to be able to break through space, and saw Yang Wu clearly. Yang Wu met the other party's gaze without the slightest fear. There was only a high-spirited battle intent. His black tortoise battle chi couldn't help but soar, and entered the best battle state. The other party outlined a faint smile, seemingly with a trace of disdain. Then, he turned around and walked forward with a few servants beside him. He actually didn't have the intention to challenge Yang Wu. Others couldn't understand his intention, but Yang Wu understood. The other party really didn't care to fight with him. Maybe he wasn't worthy of the other party to fight with him. Unless he took the initiative to fight, the other party wouldn't pay attention to him. What an arrogant guy! Yang Wu didn't rush over rashly. He sighed in his heart. Although he was full of confidence in himself, the monk in front of him gave him a feeling that he couldn't see through him at all. The other party's strength was definitely unfathomable, and he was a strong opponent. It might be more interesting to challenge such an opponent at the end. Yang Wu also wanted to obtain another type of mysterious essence qi. After breaking through to the peak of the dragon transformation realm, he would have more confidence. He wasn't so blind as to think that he was invincible. Yang Wu hurried on his way again. He felt that the distance to the mysterious essence qi was still very far, and he didn't know when it would end. He could only rush over at full speed. On the way, he encountered humans again. There weren't many of them, only 3. They were clearly in a group. They worked together to deal with other creatures and split the spoils of war and victory. Unfortunately, they encountered Yang Wu this time and were easily defeated by Yang Wu. Yang Wu didn't kill them, and only made them obediently hand over all their belongings and scram. After defeating these 3, Yang Wu's victory reached 9, and his ranking moved up a lot. Every victory could possibly allow him to jump up a lot of rank. After all, it was still a short time, and the gap between each person wasn't completely widened. Yang Wu was very satisfied with the current situation. He slowly gained victories and slowly adapted to the environment here. He ignored the gravity here. Even if the influence was still there, he felt that he could completely adapt to it compared to other creatures. He could also absorb the baleful aura and flames here to strengthen himself. The baleful aura here was related to the baleful dragon aura in his body. His dantian was different, and it could filter any impure energy and convert it into pure energy. Even if the energy here was thin and the replenishment speed was very slow, it was enough for him. He could save a lot of Xian spirit stones. As for the phoenix fire energy here, it was devoured by blue demoness. She would absorb as much as she could and wouldn't reject it. There was no sun or moon here, and it was impossible to distinguish the changes in time. He could only rely on his intuition to sense the changes in time. This was the 5th day in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Yang Wu met Jing Wu's companion, Mei Zihao. This guy's situation wasn't very good. He was lying in a pool of blood, and there was a spirit demon corpse beside him. Obviously, he had just finished fighting with a spirit demon. He was alive, and the spirit demon was dead. Yang Wu found that Mei Zihao's ranking was much higher than his, and he had one more win than him. Naturally, he wouldn't leave him to die. He quickly went over to check on his body, but who knew that this guy would suddenly raise his spear and stab at him? If it was any other creature, they would probably be assassinated. Yang Wu's reaction was faster than others. He immediately controlled 8th Zhu to attack, and his claws blocked Mei Zihao's attack. "You want to fight with me?" Yang Wu, who was sitting on 8th Zhu, looked at Mei Zihao and asked lightly. After Mei Zihao saw Yang Wu's appearance, he quickly put away his weapon and said weakly, I'm sorry, Saint Master Yang Wu. I thought it was a demon, and I could only fake my death in my current state." "Are you okay?" Yang Wu asked. "I won't die, but I need some time to recover. The Xian Qi of heaven and earth here is too terrible." Mei Zihao relaxed and sat cross-legged on the ground. "Then you recover. I'll protect you," Yang Wu replied softly. "Saint Master Yang Wu, you don't plan on fighting?" Mei Zihao was stunned and asked. "You want me to fight?" "Of course not. I'm not your match." "Then why are you asking?" "Now that everyone is seeking victory, I thought Saint Master Yang Wu also needed it." "Of course I need it, but defeating you now doesn't seem to be a challenge. Let's put it aside for now." Mei Zihao was completely relieved. He had already used a healing pill, and his injuries were slowly recovering. He also took out a high-grade Xian spirit stone to refine and replenish the energy he had lost. Yang Wu chopped off a portion of the spirit demon's corpse and barbecued it while waiting for Mei Zihao's condition to improve. Not long after, he sensed another life aura nearby. This time it was 5 beauties. They were dressed gorgeously like blooming flowers, and nothing could be more beautiful. After Yang Wu saw them, he couldn't tell where they came from. What a fragrant smell of meat. So there's a handsome guy barbecuing meat here. I wonder if we sisters are welcome to share? One of the women in green threw a coquettish glance at Yang Wu. Another woman in floral clothes said, "This young master looks very familiar. He must be from a famous sect. Can you bring us sisters along to kill the enemy?" Chapter 1044. Each of the 5 women had their own unique characteristic. They were all top-class beauties, and when the 5 of them stood in a row, their allure was no less than that of a peerless beauty. Yang Wu looked at the 5 women who had openly appeared and couldn't help but use his jade pendant to sense their information. He was surprised to find that there was no information about them. He exclaimed in his heart, "They're not humans." No matter how he looked at them, they looked like humans, but Yang Wu's jade pendant didn't have any reaction. This proved that they were not humans. Yang Wu instantly became vigilant. "Handsome, why are you staring at me so fiercely? Do you think I'm too beautiful?" Another woman said shyly. Her bashful appearance was truly captivating. Another woman licked her jade lips, her beautiful eyes shining with a strange light. "I also want to eat barbecued meat. I wonder if I can." The 5 women walked towards Yang Wu. Maisie Heo, who was in the middle of healing, was also awakened by their voices. After seeing them, a look of infatuation appeared on his face. He couldn't help but exclaim, "So beautiful." Yang Wu also began to have a strange feeling. The blood in his body began to boil unnaturally, and there was a primitive urge to break out. It was as if he couldn't wait to pounce on these women and execute them on the spot. "Little big brother, say something. Do you welcome us, sisters?" The woman in the lead was getting closer and closer to Yang Wu. Her words were coquettish, enough to melt a person's heart. Yang Wu couldn't help but say, I welcome you beauties." "Haha, little brother is so nice." The woman laughed. The other women also began to praise him. They were showing off their coquettishness, enough to stir the heart of any man. "Master, you also like this kind of vixen?" As these women surrounded Yang Wu, the sacred mandala flower's voice sounded in Yang Wu's mind. Yang Wu shivered in an instant, waking up from his confusion. "Kill." At this moment, the 5 women attacked Yang Wu at the same time. 5 different rays of light, filled with intense killing power, blasted towards Yang Wu's head, throat, heart, and other vital points. These 5 women were truly vicious and merciless. They were not kind people at all. Yang Wu didn't have time to dodge. He didn't even have time to activate his black tortoise armor. He was hit in the vitals by the girls and fell back. Maisie Heo still hadn't come back to his senses. He still had the appearance of a pig. If the other party wanted to kill him, it would be a piece of cake. The 5 women didn't stop there. 2 of them leaped over with long fingernails that were as sharp as blades, stabbing towards Yang Wu again. They had to see Yang Wu's head fall to the ground before they could feel at ease. This had always been their style of killing enemies. Scram! Yang Wu naturally wouldn't be killed so easily. His sacred dragon physique wasn't just for show. The attack just now had caused him some injuries, but it was still within the range that he could withstand. He bounced up and after a roar, both of his palms struck out at the same time. A torrent of river water rushed towards the 2 women in front of him. Bang! Yang Wu didn't show any mercy. His strength was extremely overbearing and directly blasted the 2 women back. Their arms were almost twisted from the pressure, causing them to gasp in pain. "Sisters, go!" the leading woman in the rear exclaimed. The 3 women in the rear joined forces and attacked together, erupting with their most powerful battle strength. Each of them was proficient in claw technique. Carrying the power to tear through space, they wanted to tear Yang Wu to pieces. Yang Wu could feel the sharpness of these claws. His black tortoise armor was actually torn apart by the other party. If it weren't for his powerful deflecting force, he would have been injured. Why is it like this? Why is his defense so strong? The three women really couldn't figure out why Yang Wu's defense was so strong. Their claws could even tear apart the defense of a half-step saint. Only a saint-level defense could withstand it. Could it be that this young man in front of them had a saint-level defense? Before they could figure it out, Yang Wu counterattacked. His palms were like butterflies piercing through flowers, bombarding the three women. River-splitting palm. One palm could split the river and split it. The three women didn't even have the chance to react before they were sent flying while vomiting blood. "Sisters, let's retreat," one of the women exclaimed and fled. Their injuries were not light, and it was not possible for them to escape quickly. Just as Yang Wu was about to attack and kill them, an extremely foul smell suddenly filled the air. Even he could not endure it. He thought it was an ordinary poisonous gas and could endure it, but the stench soared to the sky. It was truly too disgusting, and he had no choice but to retreat with Meiziheo. "Is this a weasel's fart? It's so smelly." Yang Wu couldn't help but curse. When the five women heard Yang Wu's words, their faces were filled with shame. They cursed at the same time, "You're the weasel. Next time, we'll definitely kill you." They were indeed not weasels, but the foxman race. They were the descendants of humans and foxes and belonged to the beastmen race. They were born with the innate ability to confuse people of the opposite sex and easily kill their enemies. The smell they released wasn't a fart, but their body odor. This kind of smell wasn't something an average person could bear, not even Yang Wu. He originally wanted to chase after them and win 5 rounds, but now it seemed that it wouldn't be possible. Even his body that was impervious to poison couldn't withstand this stench. It was really too disgusting. Meiziheo, who was in his hand, had already fainted from the stench. It could be seen how terrifying this stench was. Yang Wu looked at his roasted meat, which was completely smelly, and lost his appetite. Meiziheo was woken up by Yang Wu. He still had an infatuated expression as he said, "Where are those peerless beauties? How come they're gone?" Yang Wu heavily patted Meiziheo's shoulder and said, "You've been bewitched. They're all weasels. Haven't you been smelled enough?" This time, Meiziheo quivered and completely regained his senses. He stuttered, "No. No way, those are weasels? What do you think? Hurry up and heal your wounds. I don't have time to waste here with you," Yang Wu said seriously. Meiziheo didn't dare to speak any more nonsense and sat down to heal his wounds. The profound qi of heaven and earth here was thin. Just relying on the medicinal properties of pills to heal his wounds was much slower. Yang Wu couldn't stand it anymore and quickly took out some herbs. He casually kneaded them together and gave them to Meiziheo to apply on his wounds. Oh! After Meiziheo received the herbs to bandage his wounds, he couldn't help but moan. He had an expression of incomparable enjoyment as he cried out in ecstasy. Yang Wu really wanted to slap him. This guy's cries were too despicable. As expected of a Saint Master Yang Wu. "These ordinary herbs can make me feel much better. Thank you, Saint Master Yang Wu." After a while, Meiziheo said gratefully to Yang Wu, "Come on, we're all allies. It's just a small matter." Yang Wu waved his hand indifferently. "Oh right, Saint Master Yang Wu, you must have a lot of pills on you, right?" Meiziheo asked. "I have some," Yang Wu lightly replied. He didn't need to ask to know what the other party was planning. Meiziheo rubbed his palms and said, "Can I exchange for a few?" "You can't afford it," Yang Wu said without any trace of politeness. I'm not exchanging for saint pills. Small saint pills will do," Meiziheo begged. "Mine are all third tribulation small saint pills. The price is a little high. Are you sure you want to buy them? How much for one? We can be considered acquaintances. I won't charge you too much. Ordinary healing pills are 1 million high-grade Xian spirit stones. Other pills are 3 to 5 million each." Meiziheo fainted after hearing the price. He was a top dragon transformation realm expert after all. He realized that he couldn't even afford one pill. 1,000,000 high-grade Xian spirit stones could buy small saint pills refined by other alchemists. He could only buy one healing pill from Yang Wu. The difference was too big. As for other pills, the price was also ridiculously high. Other third tribulation pills wouldn't be so expensive. However, thinking about Yang Wu's identity as a top saint master alchemist, his price was indeed fair. The higher the level, the better the pills refined. It was normal for the price to be higher. Then forget it. I still have a few pills with me. We'll talk about it when I need them. Meiziheo hesitated for a while and decided not to buy. He couldn't afford it. Yang Wu didn't force him. He wasn't familiar with Meiziheo. It was already good enough that he gave him a familiar price. He wasn't a good person. Meiziheo thought for a while and said to Yang Wu, "Saint Master Yang Wu, can I follow you?" "Sure, but what ability do you have?" Yang Wu nodded. Meiziheo wanted to vomit blood when he heard Yang Wu's words. He was one of the geniuses of the Battle of Dragons and Phoenixes. Wasn't this identity enough? Many forces wanted him to join, but he always refused. He was someone with goals. He didn't want to restrict his freedom. Now that he proposed to follow Yang Wu, it was also after careful consideration. Yang Wu was a top saint master alchemist. Even saints wanted to follow him. He was clear about this, but it wasn't the reason why he made up his mind. What made him make up his mind was the appearance of Yang Wu, Su Zhu, and Shou Ho. These three guys with outstanding performances were willing to follow Yang Wu. This showed that Yang Wu had extraordinary charm. He should have a bright future if he followed Yang Wu. He reached the top dragon transformation realm before he was 100 years old. It was only a matter of time before he broke through to the Star Rune realm. However, if he followed Yang Wu, this time would be greatly shortened. That way, he would have more time to pursue higher realms. "I can kill people for you." Meiziheo thought for a while and replied. Yang Wu shook his head. He wasn't satisfied with this answer. Meiziheo thought for a while and said, "I can be your slave." Yang Wu still didn't say anything. There were many people who wanted to be his slave. Meiziheo thought for a while and gritted his teeth. "I can die for you. Okay, you can stay by my side." Chapter 1045. Yang Wu was a top-notch saint alchemist. He would definitely not lack followers in the future. However, only those who were willing to die for him were truly loyal. Even though Meiziheo said so, at least he had the heart. He was also willing to accept him. He would treat this as a test in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Yang Wu rewarded Meiziheo with 5 healing pills. However, 4 of them were first and second tribulation healing pills, which he had concocted in the past. Only one of them was a third tribulation pill, which he had concocted some time ago. Meiziheo took the healing pill and sighed in his heart. This is the benefit of following a saint alchemist. At least my life is guaranteed. After receiving Yang Wu's pills, Meiziheo immediately displayed his loyal side and began to tell Yang Wu about the situation in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Meiziheo knew more about the situation than Yang Wu. After listening to him, Yang Wu had some thoughts about the next step. The so-called battle between dragons and phoenixes was a battlefield for the youths of various races. Yang Wu was clear about this. However, he did not know that obtaining more resources on the battlefield was also one of the goals of entering the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. The Dragon Phoenix Abyss definitely had items from the dragon and phoenix races. For example, true dragon bones, dragon scales, and even dragon pearls. Or the phoenix blood, phoenix feathers, and phoenix crown of the phoenix race were all rare items. Anyone who could obtain these items would benefit greatly. Other than that, the inheritances of these two races were even more precious. Many creatures with the bloodline of dragons and phoenixes had sent out their strongest geniuses. They were determined to obtain the inheritance of the true dragon or phoenix clan. That way, they would have the chance to evolve into a true dragon or phoenix. Although the geniuses of the human race did not have the chance to become a true dragon or phoenix, these inheritances could still increase their strength. Who would reject these shocking inheritances? After Yang Wu entered the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, he had been thinking about the mysterious essence Qi. He had not thought about the inheritances left behind by the true dragon and phoenix races. After Mei Ziheo's reminder, he had some ideas in his heart. His son, Yang Zhenlong, and Qing Feng both needed the items of these two races. Perhaps he could snatch them. I also heard that a dragon phoenix tree might have formed in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. This was news released by the Divine Divination Tower, but they also said that it was isolated by Heaven's secret. This news might not be accurate, but everyone thinks that it is possible. Once we encounter this tree and it forms a dragon phoenix fruit, it would be incredible. Mei Ziheo's face revealed a trace of incomparable desire as he said, "Dragon phoenix tree? It is said that this kind of divine tree is rarely seen in 1,000,000 years. Is it really here?" Yang Wu was surprised. There is a reason why the Dragon Phoenix Abyss is called a forbidden area. It is not impossible for such a tree to grow here. Mei Ziheo took it as a matter of course. After a pause, he said, "But we haven't encountered any danger yet. That's strange. Maybe we haven't reached the central area yet. It's time to hit the road," Yang Wu said, and couldn't wait to set off. Whether it was a true dragon or a phoenix, they couldn't compare to the profound essence Qi he needed. This was the key to him continuing to become stronger. Not long after, they finally encountered a terrifying event in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. A terrifying tornado blew up from the ground. This wind was comparable to a saint's attack. Its tearing power was incomparably terrifying. Once one was swept into it, only death awaited. Roar! Roar! This tornado seemed to contain a dragon's aura, and a dragon's roar could be heard. Just as Yang Wu and Mei Ziheo were about to escape, they discovered that another wave of fire had transformed into the shape of a firebird and collided with the tornado. Rumble! The tornado and the firebird fought fiercely. It was like a battle between saint-level creatures. The destructive power it caused was too terrifying. Even the gravity here could not suppress them at all. The ground that was as hard as iron cracked. Anyone who approached would definitely die. Yang Wu and Mei Ziheo retreated as far as they could, not daring to approach at all. Is this an afterimage left behind from the battle between the true dragon and the phoenix? It's too terrifying! Mei Ziheo exclaimed. Yang Wu narrowed his eyes and said, "To be precise, this should be the battle willpower left behind by the true dragon and the phoenix. To be able to leave behind such a battle willpower after so many years, I really don't know how powerful they were when they were alive." Immediately after, he did not speak anymore. He raised his eyesight to the maximum and watched the battle between the tornado and the firebird. It seemed like the two forces had inexplicably collided, but he could feel something different. The battle's remnant thoughts might contain the true dragon and phoenix clan's consummate skills. Yang Wu had refined the dragon Qi and achieved the sacred dragon physique. His perception of the dragon Qi was many times stronger than Mei Ziheo's. Also, his heart's fire could resonate with the firebird's fire. Perhaps he had gained something. Mei Ziheo was still chattering, but Yang Wu could not hear a word. The divine court Dao flower in his mind was emitting a soul light. His battle soul was comprehending the trajectory of the collision of the two forces. Wave after wave of collision of forces was like the end of the world. What others saw was only a disaster, but he gradually gained a hint of understanding. However, he was still unable to fully comprehend it. He saw the tornado as a true dragon overturning the seas and rivers, and he also seemed to see a phoenix burning the heavens with fire. The Dragon Clan's battle talent was very strong, and the Phoenix Clan was not to be outdone. This wave of collision of forces did not last long before it disappeared. Yang Wu felt that it was a pity. He felt that something was missing. If he had more time, He might really be able to comprehend the attack methods of the two clans. Even if he could not comprehend it, he could use it to train his battle willpower. My lord, look. There are many people rushing over there. It seems like something good has appeared. Meiziheo cried out involuntarily. Yang Wu also saw that there were dozens of living beings. There were humans, spirit demons, and other races. Perhaps something good had appeared there. Let's go. Yang Wu shouted without hesitation and rushed in that direction. Meiziheo immediately followed with a look of anticipation on his face. Who wouldn't want to get their hands on such a good item? This phoenix blood crystal is mine. Whoever dares to snatch it from me will be my enemy. All of you, get out of my way. Who do you think you are? This is something left behind by our spirit demon ancestors. How can you humans touch it? This dragon aura is mine, haha. Leave the dragon aura behind. A monster like you doesn't deserve it. Dozens of living beings were in a chaotic battle. They were all fighting over the dragon aura and the phoenix blood crystal. The dragon aura was the aura and power left behind by the dragon clan. The dragon aura here was different from ordinary dragon aura. It was more condensed and purer. It could increase the strength of any dragon transformation realm fighter, and it could also improve their physique. The phoenix blood crystal was also extraordinary. It was formed from a stone that had been dripped with the blood of the phoenix. It contained the blood of the phoenix and had the special ability of immortality. It could heal injuries quickly, and it could also improve the bloodline of the phoenix. It could also increase the power of flames. Unexpectedly, with the appearance of the strange phenomenon, good things appeared. This was not an ordinary holy object. It might be something left behind by a divine master. It was even harder to find than ordinary holy objects. It was no wonder that so many living beings were fighting over it. Yang Wu realized that he had been too arrogant. These living beings' senses were stronger than his. How could they have discovered the strange object there? But he couldn't. There was a female human who was very strong. She was a prodigy from the Phantom clan. Her name was Huan Xiaoyu. She was very fast, and she was good at illusions and sneak attacks. She was at the peak of the dragon transformation realm. Her eyes were on the phoenix blood crystal. There was also a spirit demon called Ao Xiong. He was very strong, and a casual punch could destroy a small mountain. His attack and defense were equal. His only weakness was his slow speed. His target was the dragon aura. There were also 2 other races and a demon. They were all very strong, and they were all strong competitors for the treasure. They unleashed their strength at the same time and killed their opponent. Their Xian Qi and spirit demon auras clashed, and no one wanted to give way. There was also a prodigy from Jingwu. Unfortunately, his head was blown off by Ao Xiong, and he died on the spot. This prodigy had a good relationship with Meiziheo. Meiziheo didn't have time to save him. He couldn't help but shout, "Brother, you died so miserably. Wait for me to avenge you." Meiziheo was once ranked very high on the prediction list. He stabbed out with his plumb spear, and a green spear light flashed in all directions. In an instant, it pierced Ao Xiong's chest, wanting to kill him on the spot. Ao Xiong wasn't in his original form, but in his human form. He was very big and strong, and his bulging muscles looked as if they were cast from steel. There were also layers of defensive light on his body. Meiziheo's spear couldn't pierce through his defensive power. This was definitely a saint-level defense. "You're not even worthy of scratching my itch." Pram. Ao Xiong roared. He raised his fist and smashed it towards Meiziheo. A fist like that of a cannon smashed towards Meiziheo. Meiziheo's reaction was very fast. He bent his spear and dodged Ao Xiong's attack. However, Ao Xiong's attack didn't stop there. A gravitational field enveloped Meiziheo, causing Meiziheo's reaction to slow down. Ao Xiong took the opportunity to charge at him. Bear-type charge. The gravity of this world was already very uncomfortable. Adding on Ao Xiong's gravitational field, Meiziheo was unable to escape the gravity. Just as he was about to be hit by Ao Xiong, someone's leg flashed past like a light breeze, and cleverly kicked Meiziheo away. Meiziheo didn't need to look to know who had saved him. He said gratefully, "Thank you, master." Focus your energy and attack his weak point. Yang Wu reminded Meiziheo. "Don't worry, master. I won't lose." Meiziheo replied heroically. He once again focused his energy and fought Ao Xiong. Ao Xiong roared, "I'll tear you to shreds." He wanted to kill Yang Wu, who had just made a move. However, his main goal was to obtain the Dragon Chi. He completely ignored Meiziheo's attacks and charged forward. Yang Wu also wanted that Dragon Chi. This Dragon Chi was much stronger than the Dragon Chi he had absorbed in the Dragon Tomb. Perhaps after absorbing it, he would have a chance to break through to the peak of the Dragon Transformation realm. If he could break through to the next level, then he would definitely be able to obtain the throne of the Dragon Emperor. It's mine. No one can take it from me. Chapter 1046. The draconic energy was like a small dragon as it continuously spun on the ground like a small tornado. It was extremely vivid and moving. There were quite a few creatures fighting over it. There were more than 20 of them, and every one of them was incomparably powerful. Moreover, they all possessed innate divine abilities. The violent bear charged forward. The attacks of many creatures couldn't injure him, and there were even creatures that were knocked flying by him. His tyrannical strength gave off a feeling of being unrivaled. There were 2 other races with strange appearances. They had cow horns and iron wings, and they held tridents in their hands. When they worked together, there was basically no one who could withstand their attacks. They were precisely the iron-winged horn race's geniuses. They were twin brothers and had the innate ability of telepathy. They brandished their tridents and attacked from left and right, aiming straight for the draconic energy. These 3 creatures were the most powerful competitors, but one of them had the innate ability of escaping through the earth. It was the pangolin race's genius. He suddenly rushed out from the ground and used his power to bind the draconic energy. He then flew away. This fellow was simply too shrewd. In the midst of the chaos, he was able to fish in troubled waters and quietly succeed. However, how could it be so easy for him to leave so easily? The other creatures all took action to stop him. They definitely wouldn't give him such an opportunity. The ground here was different from ordinary ground. He couldn't quickly escape far away, nor could he escape deep. His speed was greatly reduced, and the restriction on him was too great. Fortunately, his scales were hard enough to block many attacks. Otherwise, he would have been killed. Violent earthquake. The violent bear was a bit far away. He roared and smashed his palms into the ground. The ground was cracked by him, and his power followed the ground to attack the pangolin. Iron Wings pair. The iron-winged horn creatures worked together, and their tridents were like rainbows as they furiously pierced towards the pangolin's position. The other creatures also attacked with all their strength. They definitely couldn't let the pangolin escape. Honglong honglong. Many powers exploded endlessly. Waves of dust flew everywhere, and no one could see the pangolin's situation clearly. Many creatures rushed over. They definitely wouldn't stop until they obtained the draconic energy. They weren't afraid that the draconic energy would be scattered. That was draconic energy left behind from the ancient times. How could it be scattered so easily? The pangolin wasn't killed, but many of its scales fell off. Blood even flowed out. Its eyes revealed extreme fear. At this time, it could only fight with its life on the line. Imperial Edict. Earth Burrow. The demon race's imperial decree was torn open. It was a piece of beast skin that was imbued with the demon saint's power. It could protect his safety. He then used his most powerful innate demonic ability and used all of his trump cards to escape. It was also at this moment that a fist aura that could reverse the universe blasted out. Its target was the pangolin. This punch was like the black tortoise breaking out of the water, Yet it was also like the sudden appearance of a barbaric dragon. The sun and moon were toppled by it, and it was an extremely shocking sight. Bang! This punch seemed to tear through space, causing the power of the Imperial Edict to shatter and the ground to crack. It landed directly on the pangolin's back, causing it to be badly mangled and pieces of armor to fly. It was unknown whether it was dead or alive. The dragon chi lost its restraints and returned to the ground. It was quickly grasped in the hands of the person who attacked. Many creatures did not care about how powerful or terrifying the opponent's attack was. In short, they only had eyes for the dragon chi. When the dragon chi landed in the hands of that person, their target of attack changed. Streaks of Xian Qi and demonic Qi streaked across the sky and enveloped the person who had just obtained the dragon Qi, not giving him any chance to escape. This person was none other than Yang Wu. Who else could it be? Yang Wu held the dragon Qi in one hand, and his entire body was covered with the black tortoise armor. The layers of power of the armor were rolling, and the powerful force deflected all of the attacks. Most of them were even reflected back at the opponent. Not only that, but Yang Wu also took the opportunity to counterattack. He moved quickly and came in front of one of the creatures. He shouted, "Get lost!" In the next moment, he kicked out furiously and sent the other party flying. On his left, a creature swung a long whip at his throat. He did not even turn his head and directly reached out to grab the long whip. He pulled the other party over. His elbow turned into the most terrifying weapon, and he heavily slammed into the other party's chest. That creature was instantly sent flying. This deterrence was not enough. Powerful creatures like the violent bear and the iron-winged horn race charged over. "Put down the dragon chi!" The violent bear roared and furiously slapped at Yang Wu with his bare paw. The domineering palm force felt like the sky was collapsing. Even a one-star saint would not be able to withstand such power easily. On the other side, the two iron-winged horn race brothers each held a trident and stabbed at Yang Wu's vital points. Their target was Yang Wu's other arm. Once that arm was destroyed, they would be able to obtain the dragon chi. The other creatures retreated to the side for the time being, waiting for an opportunity to strike. "It seems like if I don't show you what I'm made of, you won't know how powerful I am." Yang Wu wiped away the ferocious chi, and the Tao of Death spread out. He then punched out with his other free hand. Tao of Death. 1000 Transformation Fist. The Tao of Death could deprive a living being of their vitality and soul energy. No living being would be able to withstand the double deprivation. The 1000 Transformation Fist was a peak minor saint battle skill passed down to him by his master. What kind of character was his master? The battle skill that he passed down to him was not ordinary. When he comprehended it to the perfect stage, he discovered that it was a fist skill that could be upgraded. The deeper his comprehension, the more changes there would be, and the stronger its power would be. It was not inferior to a saint's skill at all. The 1000 Transformation Fist emphasized on the word transformation. The fist had a myriad of changes, and it was impossible to grasp or block. It was not easy for a fist to have a myriad of changes. When Yang Wu was in seclusion underwater, he had recultivated all kinds of battle skills, including the 1000 Transformation Fist. With his comprehension ability, it was not difficult for him to cultivate it to the perfect stage. The attacks of Tyrannical Bear and the Iron-Winged Horn brothers landed on Yang Wu in the blink of an eye. The distance between them was too close, and the power of the Tao of Death did not cause them much panic. Just as they were about to succeed, the power of the 1000 Transformation Fist erupted. Millions of fist shadows blasted out from different angles, shattering the power of the bear paw and the battle fork. The densely packed fist shadows caused one's scalp to go numb just by looking at them. This was 1000 fist shadows that were blasted out in an instant, and they contained many different transformations. It was truly extraordinary. After Yang Wu shattered their attacks, they wanted to launch a second wave of attacks. However, the Tao of Death began to deprive them of their vitality, and finally caused them to panic. Their attacks were weakened by 10 to 20%. It was also at this moment that Yang Wu closed in on them with the Wind God's leg, and punched out a second time. It was still the 1000 transformation fist, but it was split into two. The speed of the fist was so fast that it was impossible to block. Bang bang! Tyrannical Bear's defense was directly shattered by Yang Wu's powerful fist energy. Many fist imprints landed on his tough body, leaving behind bloody marks. He retreated step by step, and finally couldn't take it anymore. He transformed into a huge tyrannical bear, and only then did he block Yang Wu's fist energy. The iron-winged Horn brothers were also attacked by Yang Wu. Their defense was not as strong as tyrannical bears, but they were also very resilient. They were beaten until they spat out blood, but they did not make a sound. Moreover, they launched a desperate counterattack against Yang Wu. Two pairs of iron wings turned into sharp blades and slashed toward Yang Wu's neck. The most powerful thing about the iron-winged Horn clan was this pair of iron wings. They were comparable to peerless battle weapons, and could cut through iron like mud, killing any opponent. Yang Wu's fists were already moving, but his legs could still be used. A gust of wind blew up on the spot, forcibly tearing apart the two pairs of iron wings. The power of the Tao of Death continued to erupt. The iron-winged Horn brothers were finally afraid. It's the Tao of Death of the King of Hell's Palace. Retreat quickly. One of the iron-winged Horn clan's creatures cried out in alarm. The two creatures retreated at the same time, not daring to get close to Yang Wu's range. Do you think you can escape? Yang Wu licked his thick lips. His figure turned into a series of afterimages as he chased after the two creatures. You want to kill us, brothers? You don't have the ability to do so. The iron-winged Horn brothers shouted in unison. Boundless light burst out from their horns, and the terrifying light turned into two all-like forces that shot toward Yang Wu. This was their real trump card. The Iron Horn's attack was unparalleled, and could kill a beginner saint-level creature. Yang Wu had indeed forced them into a corner. Otherwise, they would not have used this move. Yang Wu's black tortoise battle armor blocked the attack. He thought that he could quickly dissolve the opponent's attack like before. Unfortunately, he miscalculated this time. The two forces were not only indestructible, but also had a penetrating ability. They could penetrate any defensive battle chi and directly injure the enemy's body. Bang! Yang Wu was hit by the two forces, and his figure retreated continuously. Wild Bear rushed over from behind and roared, "I'll smash you into meat paste." Bear paw attack. Wild Bear's strongest point was the strength of his bear paws. Once he unleashed his full strength, he could directly smash a huge mountain into powder. Yang Wu was attacked from the front and back. Let's see how he would deal with it. Yang Wu looked like he was severely injured, but in fact, his sacred dragon physique was still able to block the iron-winged Horn brothers' horn light. The opponent's attack could not threaten his sacred dragon physique, which was comparable to a peak beginner saint-level creature. When Wild Bear attacked, Yang Wu's body fell to the ground. The tip of his foot hooked back and kicked toward Wild Bear. Upside-down golden hook. This move was like an antelope hanging its horns. It was really ingenious. Under the collision of the two moves, Yang Wu was once again slapped back toward the iron-winged Horn brothers. The two brothers had smiles on their faces. In their opinion, the dragon aura in Yang Wu's hands belonged to none other than him. They stabbed out with their tridents at the same time, wanting to kill Yang Wu one last time. At this moment, Yang Wu's body twisted like a fish and dodged their attacks. The Tao of Death enveloped them, and his fist blasted out like lightning again. The speed of his fist was obviously several times faster than before. This was the power that Yang Wu should have. What happened just now was just a warm-up. The iron-winged Horn brothers could not react in time. The fist force mercilessly penetrated their bodies. Even the defensive iron bodies that they were so proud of were blown up like paper. Wild Bear chased after Yang Wu from behind. When he saw this scene, not only did he not retreat, but he opened his mouth and spat out a terrifying earth-colored light, wanting to kill Yang Wu. Wild Bear Cannon Annihilation. Chapter 1047. The power that Wild Bear had been accumulating for a long time erupted from his mouth. Its power was enough to destroy an entire mountain range. He had been suppressing his anger for a long time. If he couldn't kill Yang Wu with this, he wouldn't mind giving up the dragon energy. However, if he killed Yang Wu, not only would his chances of victory increase, but he would also obtain the dragon energy. This was killing two birds with one stone. In this space where it was difficult to recover one's strength, the dragon energy could make up for all his losses. Yang Wu's reaction was extraordinary. He didn't block this attack head-on. He could feel that the power of this attack wasn't inferior to the horn light of the two iron-winged horn brothers. It was even more violent and destructive. He had to save some energy for himself. Just as he was about to use his ice blade to kill Wild Bear, he realized that someone else was doing this for him. He didn't want to waste any more energy. Plum Wine Alley was deep. The thick smell of plum wine filled the air. A thick spear shadow pierced through the air and attacked the back of Wild Bear's head. Wild Bear's attention was completely focused on Yang Wu. He released all his power at this moment. Who would have thought that someone had been waiting for this opportunity to deal him a fatal blow? Bang! The plum wine spear carried with it a spiraling force. It forcefully penetrated Wild Bear's defenses and pierced through the back of his head. Bear juices instantly splattered everywhere. Wild Bear didn't die immediately. He instinctively counterattacked. One of his paws slapped back furiously at the attacker. The attacker was none other than Meiziheo. Who else could it be? He also didn't expect Wild Bear to be able to counterattack. He was sent flying far away and spat out a mouthful of blood. Wild Bear wanted to give chase. Unfortunately, the back of his head had been pierced. He roared unwillingly. His huge body fell heavily into a pool of blood. He couldn't get up anymore. The surrounding living beings were all shocked. A powerful spirit demon had been killed just like that. It was really hard for them to accept this. Yang Wu took the opportunity to attack again. He started fighting with the other living beings who were also trying to take advantage of the situation. These creatures thought that Yang Wu had expended too much energy or was heavily injured. They thought that he was at the end of his strength, which was why they dared to attack so boldly. A human swung his heavy hammer at Yang Wu's head, a spirit demon released his innate Tao of evil, and a non-human used his invincible ghost claw trying to kill Yang Wu. Unfortunately, they had found the wrong opponent. Yang Wu's Tao of death enveloped them, and its power was terrifying. Some of their vitality was taken away, and their soul power was affected. Their battle prowess decreased sharply. Yang Wu took out the double-blade triple dragon spear and stabbed out repeatedly. Puff! Yang Wu pierced through their foreheads, and none of them were able to dodge. These creatures were even weaker than Iron Winghorn, and Violent Bear. They couldn't even last one round against Yang Wu. In the blink of an eye, Yang Wu had killed another 5 living beings, scaring the remaining living beings into choosing a path to escape. No matter how precious the dragon chi was, it couldn't compare to one's life. In another direction, after the Phoenix blood crystal fell into the hands of that female prodigy from the Phantom clan, she used her own innate skill to escape. The other living beings chased after her. Whether she could escape or not, it all depended on her own luck. Yang Wu had experienced a great battle and was in an extremely good mood. He vented out all his frustration from not adapting to this place. Through this battle, he could be considered to have completely adapted to the environment here. The next time he fought, he would be even stronger. Are you dead yet? If you're not, get up and clean up the battlefield for this young master. Yang Wu glanced at Meiziheo, who was lying far away. Meiziheo's attack on Violent Bear wasn't weak. If a first-grade star pattern realm expert was caught off guard, they could be killed by this attack. It seemed like this fellow's background wasn't ordinary. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to use such a powerful attack. Meiziheo crawled up with difficulty and said, "Lord, can't you let me play dead for a while? Quickly take the healing pill. Don't leave any side effects." Yang Wu reminded him. He didn't want his people to be frugal just to save some pills. There was no need for that. Meiziheo hurriedly obeyed Yang Wu's instructions and swallowed a healing pill to recover from the injuries caused by Violent Bear's attack. Fortunately, Violent Bear was already heavily injured. Otherwise, the power of that palm would have beaten him half to death. This Violent Bear's ranking on the Cyan Demon leaderboard was definitely not low. Meiziheo took advantage of the victory in this battle and put it on his tab. Yang Wu didn't care. He obtained the Dragon Chi and profited greatly. Yang Wu wasn't in a hurry to leave. While Meiziheo was cleaning up the battlefield, he carefully sensed around, hoping that there were still good things left behind. He looked around and didn't find anything. His heart was still unsatisfied, so he ordered 8th Zhu to dig around. In the fierce battle just now, there was no need to use 8th Zhu. It was just an undead puppet. For creatures like Violent Bear and the Iron-Winged Horn Brothers, it could only serve as a slight obstruction. It wasn't of much help at all. At this moment, it seemed to be a good idea to use it as an excavator. If the creatures of the demon race were to see this scene, they would most likely be fuming with anger. They were the dignified prince of the demon spider race, but after his death, they were still being used as excavators. This was too humiliating. 8th Zhu's claws were incomparably sharp. Slash after slash landed on the ground, splitting open the hard ground. If it was normal ground, a casual strike would be enough to burst it open. This space was rather special, so it wasn't easy to dig deep. Yang Wu slowly waited at the side. He wasn't in a hurry, but was considering whether to immediately refine the Dragon Chi. He hesitated for a moment and thought, it's not good to refine it now. After the battle just now, there might be creatures coming from afar. I have to find another place and put it away first. At this time, Meiziheo had dug out all the corpses of the creatures around him. He took all the universe items and handed them over to Yang Wu. As a qualified follower, these were things he had to do. Yang Wu gave all the substandard healing pills he found from the universe of the human race's Heaven's Prideling to Meiziheo. He even gave him the Imperial Edict. He had no use for those things. He put away all the other things and asked Meiziheo what kind of things he was interested in. If there were any, he would take them out and give them to Meiziheo. Before this, Meiziheo had also killed about 10 living beings, and his wealth was actually not small. He did not dare to be so thick-skinned as to ask Yang Wu for anything else. He was satisfied with just one victory after killing Violent Bear. This person shouldn't be too greedy. Yang Wu also didn't force him. He called him to divide the corpses. Violent Bear's paws were good things, and his bear gallbladder contained extraordinary essence. The iron wings and horns of the Iron-Winged Horn Brothers were also not to be left out. After this battle, they had gained a lot. Oh right, why don't I see the jade pendants of the foreign creatures? Yang Wu asked curiously. This question had been bothering him for a long time. He didn't find any jade pendants on the bodies of the spirit demons and foreign creatures he killed earlier. My lord, you don't even know this? Our human race's jade pendants can be obtained. If the jade pendants of other races are killed by other races, the jade pendants will disappear automatically. They will only reappear in other places when the next grand tournament is about to start, and other creatures will fight for them. Meiziheo explained. I see. Yang Wuming was enlightened. So, in the battlefield of the Battle of the Dragons, many times it's a fight to the death. Only by killing the other party can you take the other party's jade pendants and increase the number of jade pendants for your own forces in the next grand tournament. Meiziheo continued. Very cruel. Yang Wu sighed. Yes. Meiziheo agreed. He paused for a while and bowed to Yang Wu. I still have to rely on my lord to protect me in the future. Your strength is not bad. If you can't win, you can run. You don't need my protection. You can't say that. If I meet someone as strong as Wild Bear again, I'm afraid I won't be his match. Don't we still have the Imperial Edict? That's true. Many times, many creatures were protected by the power of the Imperial Edict. This method could reduce the casualties of the young creatures, and was also one of the life-saving methods allowed. However, few of the foreign creatures Yang Wu killed had the chance to use the power of the Imperial Edict. Once they entered a state of mindless killing, they would want to kill their opponent wholeheartedly. They would definitely not think of escaping first. Creatures that wanted to escape before the battle were definitely not strong creatures. Yang Wu felt a little heartache. He had let the 3 people go earlier. They had 3 jade pendants. They had teamed up against him, but he had only defeated them and let them go. Now that he was holding the 2 jade pendants that he had just obtained, he muttered, "From now on, I won't show mercy to those who want to kill me." Before opening the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, the Yang family only had 1 heavenly dragon jade pendant. How embarrassing was that? Because of this, there was even a dispute in the elders' meeting. If he could obtain a few more jade pendants for the family, it would be a good thing. However, he couldn't understand why Patriarch Yang Jinghai, who was one of the top 1,000 geniuses in the previous Heaven's Chosen competition, only had 1 jade token. He must have won a certain number of battles to obtain such a ranking, so he should have many jade tokens. Yang Wu asked Meiziheo the question in his heart. Haha, that's very simple. Your clan leader's jade pendant was snatched by someone else. Meiziheo laughed loudly. Yang Wu felt that Meiziheo's smile was not very friendly, and he felt that his question was too idiotic. Indeed, there were winners and losers in the battle for the Dragon Phoenix list. Whoever had a higher winning rate would represent the strongest. It was not that one would have no chance of competing for the highest position after losing a battle. As long as one did not die, one could still defeat other opponents and obtain a chance to increase one's ranking. Due to the fact that the jade pendants could sense each other, almost no one could hide and wait for the battle to end after winning 1 or 2 battles. This also meant that everyone had to participate in the battle. In that case, it would be very difficult to remain undefeated. After all, there were living beings from other races here. A prodigy who could defeat all the young living beings was 1 in a million. He was also known as the Invincible Emperor, and his status was above the Dragon Emperor and the Emperor Phoenix. The previous Invincible Emperor was in the Spirit Demon clan. Chapter 1048. Invincible Emperor. These 4 words could suppress an era for 1,000 years, or even 10,000 years. The meaning was extremely different. Every time the various races' young generation competed, it was to vie for the title of the strongest youth. It happened once every 50 years, and the top elites that appeared every 50 years represented the strength of a race. And the Invincible Emperor represented the rise of a new generation's overlord. The previous Invincible Emperor was a young Spirit Fae from the Spirit Fae race. He was a prince of the Fae Fox race and was a top Fae Fox with 7 tails. That year, he won more than 5,000 battles alone, nearly sweeping away all the experts of the young generation. His most classic battle was when he fought an intense battle with a prince of the infernal race for 7 days and 7 nights before finally defeating him. Now, the Fae Fox Prince had already broken through to become a sage, and became a pillar of the Fae Fox race. As long as he did not die, he would become a Heaven Ascension Realm Great Fae in the future. Back then, even the Dragon Emperor from the human race admitted that he was not the Fae Fox Prince's match. In the overall ranking, the human race's Dragon Emperor barely squeezed into the top 10. Furthermore, he was the only human. It was evident how powerful the young elites of the various races were. The overall ranking of the various races' elites was only the top 100. There would not be too many spots, and those that could enter the top 100 were of great significance. Yang Wu's goal was only the throne of the Dragon Emperor. He was not very clear about the Invincible Emperor. If he had not chatted with Meiziheo, he would not have known that there was such a title. With his current strength, it was still a little dangerous for him to seize the throne of the Dragon Emperor. After all, after seeing the Golden Prisoner come in, he had no confidence in himself. It was not that he was afraid of Jin Qiu, but he was thinking that other factions would also have monstrous existences like him. If he wanted to reach the top, it was best to increase his strength. At that moment, 8th Zhu dug out something good from underground. Yang Wu and Meiziheo swept over to take a look. They revealed looks of shock as they exclaimed in unison, "Dragon Scale Phoenix Stone." There was a stone that resembled dragon scales and suffused traces of phoenix blood. It was called the Dragon Scale Phoenix Stone. This stone material was extremely rare. It was formed after countless years of changes after being stained with dragon aura and phoenix blood. This kind of stone material was at least a holy material. Moreover, after being refined into a weapon, it would contain some special characteristics of the Dragon Clan and the Phoenix Clan, greatly increasing the weapon's power. It could be said to be a top-notch stone material among the saint materials. 8th Zhu's claws could not dig any further. The stone was too hard. "My lord, we've struck gold!" Meiziheo exclaimed. "Let's see how big this piece is first. It might even be a small mineral vein." Yang Wu's breathing became heavy. He quickly dug up the soil next to the Dragon Scale Phoenix Stone to see how big it was. He also looked around to see if there were any other Dragon Scale Phoenix Stones. He began to understand why the Draconic Chi and the Phoenix Blood Crystal would suddenly change. It was most likely because of the combination of the Dragon Scale and Phoenix Stone. Their instinctive remnant thoughts were constantly colliding with each other, which resulted in the polishing of this sacred material. At this moment, he couldn't help but think of the Dragon Phoenix Tree that Meiziheo had mentioned before. There might really be such a divine tree in this world. Yang Wu and Meiziheo quickly dug up the soil at the side and discovered that this piece of Dragon Scale Phoenix Stone was at least 3 square meters in size. This was a very large piece, enough to forge dozens of saint weapons. "My lord, this Dragon Scale Phoenix Stone is not any less valuable than the Draconic Chi and the Phoenix Blood Crystal," Meiziheo said happily. "Yes, it's more valuable than them." Yang Wu also laughed. Just as he was about to take out the Dragon Scale Phoenix Stone, he frowned and looked in a direction. A trace of seriousness flashed across his face. Indeed, such a large piece of Dragon Scale Phoenix Stone was far more valuable than the Draconic Chi and the Phoenix Blood Crystal to any sacred artifact. After all, the latter two could only be used by one person, while the Dragon Scale Phoenix Stone could be divided into many pieces and had more uses. At this moment, an uninvited guest appeared. A demon figure appeared in Yang Wu and Meiziheo's line of sight. Their senses were suppressed here. Normally, they would have discovered the existence of the demon race. When they saw the demon race, their eyes were filled with dense killing intent. They gritted their teeth and said, "Bastards!" The demon race's war weapons were carrying human corpses, while the demon race's creatures were gnawing on the flesh of living humans. The scene was bloody and disgusting. To the human race, it was simply the greatest provocation. Yang Wu was not a person who was easily angered. However, the demon race in front of him had completely enraged him. If the demon race had given the human race a quick death, he would not have any objections. However, they actually ate the flesh of living humans. This was simply inhumane. "My brother, you are actually here. Damn human race, I want Ba Ben to eat you alive." The leading demon race creature's eyes fell on 8th Zhu. His anger soared and he could not help but roar. Ba Ben was a creature from the Sky Tyrant demon race. He looked like a human. He was tall and powerful. His face was ferocious as if he was wearing a ghost mask. He had 2 triangular eyes, no nose, a big mouth. His limbs were bone-piercing, and he had a slender tail. The Sky Tyrant demon race belonged to the royal family of the demon race. The Sky Tyrant demon race's demonic chi was incomparably terrifying. There was a Sky Tyrant demon in the previous competition for the Invincible King's position. He was also the one who lost to the Fox Prince. In the end, he was ranked second on the demon race's overall ranking. He was also the leader of the young demon race. The Ba-Ben in front of him was ranked in the top 20 of the demon race's overall ranking. His battle strength was stronger than 8th Zhu's. The two were sworn brothers. After Ba-Ben sensed that something had happened to 8th Zhu, he rushed over and finally came here. Dig out the dragon scale phoenix stone. I will deal with them. Yang Wu instructed Mei Zihao. How can the Lord be the vanguard? I will deal with them. These evil demon race are doomed. Mei Zihao replied. He did not care if Yang Wu agreed or not. He held his plumb spear and rushed out. Yang Wu hesitated for a moment, but still let him go. He dug out the dragon scale phoenix stone in front of him and put it away. At the same time, the demon race creatures quickly rushed over. There were 8 of them. Each of them was extremely powerful, and they were all members of the Sky Tyrant demon race. Another blood meal. It's too delicious. A Sky Tyrant demon said with a ferocious expression. You bastards, all of you deserve to die. Mei Zihao roared. Quick, quick, give me a quick death. A living human said with difficulty. Half of his body had been eaten by the demon race and his mind had collapsed. He only wanted to die. Ah, please, don't eat me anymore. Another human said with a dying struggle. Mei Zihao looked at their miserable state and a ball of anger burned in his heart. Then, he exploded with his strongest power and attacked the demon race creatures. His attack wasn't aimed at the devil race's living beings, but at the humans instead. You want to kill our blood meal? Impossible. One of the Heaven Overlord devils snorted coldly, opened his palm, and grabbed at Mei Zihao's spear. Sky Tyrant Demon Palm. The formidable devil palm power formed a devil wall, directly blocking Mei Zihao's spear. In the next moment, Mei Zihao and the Sky Tyrant Demon fought fiercely. Mei Zihao had no problem dealing with one Sky Tyrant Demon. However, he did not have the ability to stop the other demon race creatures. Each Sky Tyrant Demon had extraordinary strength and was extremely talented in fighting. Ba-Ben led his companions and attacked Yang Wu. You killed my brother. I will eat you alive in front of all the humans. Ba-Ben felt that Zhu Ba no longer had any vitality. He gritted his teeth and shouted at Ba-Ben. You can try. Yang Wu walked toward them step by step and the Tao of Death instantly spread out. When the Tao of Death spread out to the demon race creatures, the humans in their hands were quickly deprived of their lives and died at the hands of the demon race. Thank you. A human uttered his last words after being freed from his imprisonment. The power of death. Ba-Ben shouted. Demon Chi surged and his demon palm slammed toward Yang Wu. A shocking demon palm appeared in the air. Its power was stronger than that of an ordinary saint. Even the power of a mid-grade imperial decree was not comparable. Yang Wu's killing intent reached its peak. He coldly shouted, I'll kill you all in an instant. In the next moment, the power of the Tao of Death fluctuated even more and condensed an extremely powerful blue palm force to meet the descending demon palm. Bang! Your Highness, let us deal with him. The other Sky Tyrant demons shouted and charged toward Yang Wu at the same time. The Tao of Death affected them quite a bit, but their demon chi could barely deal with it. As long as they killed Yang Wu in a short period of time, they could escape the influence. Ice Wing Blade. After Yang Wu came to the Dragon Phoenix Abyss, it was the first time he used the talent of his kidney. The sharp and invisible ice wing blade swept out and directly slashed at the limbs of the Sky Tyrant demons. Roar! These Sky Tyrant demons still did not know what was going on. Some of them had their arms cut off, while others had their legs cut off. Roars came out of their mouth. Yang Wu's move had really caught them off guard. I will slowly dismember all of you. Yang Wu was like the young Azura king as he let out a fierce voice. Seeing the humans being humiliated to death, he was incomparably furious. It was also the first time he hated the demons so much. Yang Wu's ice wing blade injured most of the Sky Tyrant demons. Only Ba Ben blocked it. This guy's reaction was extremely fast. There was a demonic armor covering his body. This was a natural demonic armor and not a battle armor. This was the second form of the Sky Tyrant demon. Whether it was combat power or defense, it would increase exponentially. This was the most powerful aspect of the Sky Tyrant demon. Yang Wu's ice wing blade could not easily shatter it. You little bastard of the human clan, your talent is very strange, but this is the end. Ba Ben roared and attacked Yang Wu. Sky Tyrant Armor. Chapter 1049. The Sky Tyrant Demon Tribe was the royal tribe of the Demon Tribe because they had three forms. The first was the normal Demon Tribe form, which was the most common form among the Sky Tyrant Demon Tribe. The second form was the Sky Tyrant Armor form. Their fighting power would increase tremendously and they would become extremely powerful. It would not be a problem for them to fight those who were much stronger than them. The third form was the Sky Tyrant Combat Body form. When they reached this stage, their fighting power would become extremely powerful and they would be invincible among those of the same level. Only a few tribes could be compared with them. The three forms weren't something that just any Sky Tyrant devil could reach. Those who could reach the second form were all members of the royal clan. As for the third form, only those with ancestral bloodline could reach it. It would be considered good if there was one every 10,000 years. After reaching the second form, Ba Ben's fighting strength became extremely powerful. When he was in the first form, he could already fight against ordinary Saint Realm life forms. After reaching the second form, he could even fight against rank 2 or 3-star Rune Realm human cultivators. The current him was at his strongest whether it was attacking or defending. Yang Wu's ice wing blade couldn't hurt him. This wasn't the first time Yang Wu came into contact with the Devil Clan, but it was the first time he came into contact with a Sky Tyrant Devil. He was extremely shocked. No wonder the Devil Clan is so powerful. Only the War Clan can fight them head-on. All of this makes sense. Ba Ben charged over and slapped out a terrifying devil palm. The terrifying Sky Tyrant Devil Dao clashed with the Dao of Death. This kind of Devil Dao was extremely evil. Anyone who was affected by it would become a devil slave and be killed without any chance to resist. Yang Wu's fighting spirit surged. Ever since he had reached the high level of the dragon transformation stage, he had basically been invincible against anyone at the same level as him. Ba Ben was his best test subject. Only by defeating him head-on would he have more confidence when facing Jin Qiu and the first Palace King in the future. River-splitting palm. Yang Wu used the same palm technique as his opponent. The torrential river energy clashed with the devil palm. Bang! After the two forces clashed, it was like fireworks exploding. Bits of energy scattered in all directions. The two couldn't do anything to each other and clashed again. Sky Tyrant 1000 Devil Palm. 1000 Transformations Fist. Tens of thousands of palm shadows and dense fist shadows collided wave after wave. The two of them moved so fast that it was hard to see their movements clearly. Yang Wu's attacks were even faster than Celestial Overlord demons. One fist after another broke through Celestial Overlord demon's demonic palms and landed on his body. However, his fist forces were unable to hurt his opponent. His demonic armor was too strong. It felt as though he was punching an iron wall that could not be broken. The Celestial Hegemon demon's palm also landed on Yang Wu's body, but the black tortoise battle armor flowing on Yang Wu's body deflected the palm power. It was unable to hurt Yang Wu at all. The two of them were actually tied. So it's someone from the Battle Clan's Yang family. You must die. Ba Ben recognized Yang Wu's origin. The murderous intent in his demonic eyes became even stronger. Waves of demonic aura formed a terrifying aura. The power of the Overlord demonic path gradually exploded. It kept increasing his combat power and weakening Yang Wu's power. Yang Wu's path of death was not to be trifled with. When he unleashed his full power, any creature would be affected. Even Ba Ben was no exception. It was just a matter of how big the effect would be. Everyone in the demon race has the right to kill. No one can save you today, Yang Wu replied. He sped up and changed his position even faster. The power of the fist light was stronger than the previous wave. It was aimed at the weakest spot of the celestial hegemon demon. In terms of overall combat power, Yang Wu was stronger than the celestial hegemon. His wind god's leg exploded with full power. In terms of speed, he had an absolute advantage. He could catch the celestial hegemon off guard. Yang Wu's fists were very heavy. Hundreds of punches landed on the same spot of the celestial hegemon demon, cracking a piece of his demonic armor. Ba Ben screamed in pain. He did not dare underestimate Yang Wu. He pushed his power to the max and increased his speed. After the pair of demonic eyes stared at Yang Wu, he swung his demonic arm. It was like a demonic dragon was swinging toward Yang Wu's head. Yang Wu reacted quickly, but he still could not dodge Ba Ben's attack. His shoulder was hit hard. The black tortoise armor only dissipated a few layers of power. Half of the hidden power went through and landed on his holy body. He was knocked back dozens of feet. Kill! Ba Ben's eyes turned red. He used the demon race's consummate skill. Overlord demonic hammer. He leaped into the air and clasped his palms together to form a fist. This fist then transformed into a huge demonic hammer and smashed down towards Yang Wu. The demonic hammer was like a falling star. It was fast and fierce. Yang Wu raised his head and looked at the hammer. He shouted, "I will destroy you." Barbaric tyrant fist. Barbarian beasts appeared behind Yang Wu. A domineering aura spread out in all directions. The power in his dantian exploded. Zhenwu boxing gathered on his fist light and blasted out a stunning attack. This was a battle between two top-notch young life forms. The commotion it caused was no less than a holy war. If other life forms were here, they would definitely be scared out of their wit. Only life forms with invincible wills could be so powerful. Bang! The fists of both sides kept colliding, and the hard ground cracked open. A lot of dust splashed endlessly, and the rolling chi waves spread out in all directions. It was unknown how long the two creatures had been clashing for, but one of them was blasted away. Taking a closer look, it was Ba Ben from the Overlord demonic race. There were many fist marks on his body. Many pieces of demonic armor had fallen off. Demonic blood kept oozing out. Yang Wu was not in a good condition either. His black tortoise battle armor was shattered by his opponent. His opponent's strength was too ferocious. It was comparable to the strength of a human race's peak grade 2 Starline realm. Even Bao Bufu was no match for him. This demon race is really strong, Yang Wu exclaimed in his heart. Ba Ben's demonic body was comparable to the demon saint body. It was not any weaker than his original saint body. If he did not achieve the sacred dragon body, it would be difficult for him to gain the upper hand. Yang Wu did not stop. He rushed toward Ba Ben. He must kill his opponent in the shortest time possible. The Xian Qi here was thin. He had consumed too much energy. It would be difficult for him to recover in a short period of time if he did not take any elixirs. I don't believe that a weak human like you can have a body comparable to mine. I must kill you. Ba Ben bounced up. His demonic aura was awe-inspiring. The demonic Tao crisscrossed on his body. The strength of his arms was increasing rapidly. When Yang Wu was about to reach him, he attacked with all his strength again. Overlord demonic arms. His demonic arms crossed and swung at Yang Wu at the same time. The two demonic arms formed a power that could destroy heaven and earth and strangled Yang Wu. This move was infused with the power of the demonic Tao. Its lethality was shocking. Even a grade 3, Starline Realm Saint would have to use all his strength to block it. Yang Wu's gaze was incomparably resolute. He wanted to try to fight head-on with his opponent. He fully unleashed his battle chi. His battle chi had long been integrated with his strength, so he did not need to deliberately activate his battle blood to increase his battle chi. Now, he was constantly using the power of his bloodline talent. The black tortoise appeared behind his back and punched out seemingly without any pattern. Mystic Chaos. This was a fist technique that won in chaos. Not only could it confuse the enemy's vision, but it could also create chaos. This was the martial god's fist that Yang Wu had created in the God of War pagoda when he fought with the invincible young martial god. It could be used to defeat the strong. Another series of powerful collisions occurred. It was as if mountains were constantly colliding. The ground was constantly cracking. Waves of Xian Qi and demonic Qi spread out in all directions. No one could see the situation on the battlefield clearly. After an unknown amount of time, the outcome of the battle was finally decided. "I'll beat you to a pulp," Yang Wu shouted. The Tao of Death gathered in an area of 1 mile. Every punch had the power to rob Ba Ben of his vitality. The pitiful Ba Ben had completely lost his defensive line. After Yang Wu seized an opportunity, his demonic body exploded. Large amounts of death chi entered his body, causing him to age rapidly. His demonic chi weakened, and his battle prowess plummeted. He was no longer a threat to Yang Wu. Just as Yang Wu was about to kill Ba Ben, the power of a demon saint rippled from Ba Ben's body. It forcefully shook Yang Wu away. That was the aura of a high-level demon saint. Even though it was just a wisp of aura, it was still not something that Yang Wu could deal with. Just as Yang Wu was about to tear apart the power of the Imperial Edict and continue fighting, Ba Ben escaped with the power of the demon saint. "Damn little piece of trash, I'll remember you. The next time we meet, I'll definitely treat you as a living food and eat you piece by piece." Ba Ben's resentful voice reverberated in the air. He quickly disappeared before Yang Wu's eyes. The demon race's prodigy had been defeated. Yang Wu gained another victory. Even if he didn't kill Ba Ben, he had already crippled him and used the power of the demon saint to escape. The Jade Tablet could record this victory for him. In another direction, Meiziheo was still fighting with another heavenly overlord demon. After Ba Ben escaped, the other heavenly overlord demon also lost its will to fight and fled. Meiziheo seized the opportunity and directly pierced the other party's throat, obtaining a difficult victory. He powerlessly fell to the ground with a satisfied smile on his face. "This daddy has slain a demon, ha ha! Heavenly Overlord demons ate living people." This was the first time Meiziheo had seen it with his own eyes. He was filled with endless hatred for the demon race. To be able to slaughter a demon race lifeform with his own hands, he felt incomparably proud. Yang Wu was still cleaning up the battlefield. Although Ba Ben had escaped, there were still a few heavenly overlord demons that he had crippled. Their limbs had been severed by the ice wing blade, and they were also heavily frozen by the extreme cold chi. They didn't even have the strength to escape and could only be slaughtered by Yang Wu. "From today onwards, I'll focus on hunting demons," Yang Wu solemnly swore after trampling a heavenly overlord demon to death. Chapter 1050. The Dragon Phoenix Abyss was overcast, and it was difficult to tell day from night. Bloodshed was happening everywhere, and creatures were falling one after another. Different rankings were being updated non-stop, and powerful creatures were finally starting to fight their way into the rankings. The one who reached the top of the Heavenly Dragon ranking was not the first Hall King, but the shocking flower thief Jiang Ping. After this happened, everyone was completely dumbfounded. Jiang Ping had a small reputation in the Transcendent Realm, and the younger generation all knew of his flirtatious reputation. Who knew how many women he had harmed? Such a person actually reached the top of the Heavenly Dragon ranking, and obtained 20 victories in a day, reaching 56 victories in one go, dominating his way to the top. Everyone wondered if this guy had gotten lucky and happened to encounter a relatively weak living being, or some living being that both sides were injured, and he took advantage of it. But were there any weak living beings here? This was obviously not possible. Whether they accepted it or not, this was already the truth. If they wanted to surpass him, they could only work harder. The second place was not the first Hall King, but Jin Qiu from the Golden Prison Temple. Once again, all the prodigy's jaws dropped. Jiang Ping and the others had heard of this dark horse. Where did this Jin Qiu come from? He was actually so powerful and also had more than 50 victories. Moreover, where was the Golden Prison Temple from? They had never heard of it. The monks from the Tianli Temple and the Evil Buddha Temple were also puzzled. They had never heard of such a bodhisattva. The first Hall King, who had just reached the third place, was about to rush to the top in one go, but who knew that he would be pushed down again? The third place was Sun Do from the Marquis Gang. What kind of gang was this Marquis Gang, and when did it appear? Also, why wasn't this guy called Sun Do from the Battle Tribe's Sun family? If he was from the Battle Tribe's Sun family, they could still accept it. All the prodigies felt that the first Hall King must be so angry that he would vomit blood. The first Hall King was predicted to be at the top of the Heavenly Dragon ranking. His battle prowess was definitely extraordinary, and he was known as invincible among the young prodigies of the human race. No one would refute this title. Now that he was pushed into the top 3, everyone silently sympathized with him. They felt that he must have not encountered too many living beings, and his luck was not very good. If there were more living beings around him, he could definitely quickly refresh his record. They did not know that the first Hall King was being hunted by the top monsters of the demon race. The Heavenly Phoenix ranking did not have so many dazzling dark horses, and the first place was still Xian Yuanhua. She had stolen the limelight by her sister, and had 52 victories. The second was Ziyu from the Purple Cloud Hall. She was the Holy Maiden of the Purple Cloud Hall this year. Her talent was naturally without a doubt. However, she had only grown for a short period of time. How could she possess such abnormal strength? Everyone could not help but sigh at the extraordinary background of the Purple Cloud Palace. Everyone thought that the third place would definitely be the previous generation's Saint Lady from Mount Amay. The killing power of the emotionless swordsmanship was incomparably terrifying. She had the qualifications to enter the top 3. Who would have thought that there would still be a woman who surpassed her? That woman was Empress Chao Jifei from the Pharmacist Alliance. Was this girl not an alchemist? Since when did alchemists have such abnormal battle prowess? Everyone was puzzled by such a messy ranking. They could only sigh. There are geniuses in every generation. Their battles were more brutal than the human race. Once the battle started, it would be a fight to the death. While many living beings were fighting, they were also searching for opportunities in this space. The place where the true dragon and phoenix had fallen would definitely have many inheritances related to these two races. Moreover, their remains were of utmost importance. Whoever found them first would be the first to step into a more powerful realm. Before this, all the living beings of the various races were searching for their own companions. Only by uniting their forces could they reduce the number of casualties and unite against the enemy. After Yang Wu and Mei Zihao killed a few demons, they buried the dead humans alive. Their deaths were too tragic. Yang Wu and Mei Zihao's mood became heavy. They hated the demons to the core. They planned to kill the demons with all their might once they encountered them. They would not show any mercy. Before long, they did not encounter any demons. Instead, they encountered a dozen or so humans. They were people from the Dragon Hall. The Dragon Hall was a faction established by the first Hall King. The leader was even a small leader with decent strength. He had 15 victories. None of the people around him were mediocre. They surrounded Yang Wu and Mei Zihao, preparing to take these two people down to increase their victory rate. They also wanted to snatch the two people's jade tokens. In the end, they kicked a steel plate. These dozen or so people were defeated by Yang Wu and Mei Zihao on the spot. Each of them was beaten to serious injuries. 2 people were even killed. Their jade tokens were all taken away by Yang Wu. After this battle, Yang Wu's victories reached 28, squeezing into the top 3,000. Mei Zihao also killed his way into the top 5,000 with his 15 victories. Soon, they encountered humans again. However, the humans avoided them. Clearly, they sensed through the jade tokens that these 2 people were not to be trifled with. After an unknown period of time, they finally met one of their own. It was Xia Zixio of the Carefree sect. This guy was living a carefree life. He actually hooked up with 3 female demons. After Xia Zixio saw Yang Wu, he did not dare to be arrogant. He hurriedly brought the 3 female demons forward to greet him. He also expressed his willingness to continue to follow Yang Wu. Yang Wu did not have any objections. Anyway, there were many opportunities along the way. He could not take all of them. Moreover, the battles were getting more and more intense. Xia Zixio was not a bad person. He was also strong. Keeping him by his side was not a bad thing. That female demon was subdued by Xia Zixio. He did not kill them. He just let them stay by his side and roam the world together. As time passed, people who knew Yang Wu deliberately sensed his position and silently approached him. The first to arrive were Yang Yifan, Yang Manmi and the others. They looked very miserable. It seemed that they had just experienced a big battle not long ago. There were wounds on their bodies and their breathing was very unstable. Young master, it's not good. Lulu has been captured. Lu Ji, he ran alone to rescue her. Yang Manmi anxiously said to Yang Wu. Who captured Lulu? Yang Wu frowned and asked. Yang Lulu was another female genius of the Yang clan. Her fighting strength was second only to Yang Manmi. She had once sacrificed herself to save Lu Ji. Lu Ji also liked this ordinary-looking girl. It's the people from the Fighting League. They forced us to join them, and they wanted us to obey their orders. We refused, so they attacked us. They outnumbered us, so we had to work together to break out of the encirclement. They forced Lulu to stay behind. Not long ago we met Lu Ji. This guy rushed to save Lulu after knowing that she was captured. We couldn't stop him even if we wanted to. We couldn't stop him. Yang Manmi said in one breath. Her body fell to the ground. Fortunately, Yang Wu's eyes were sharp and his hands were fast. He supported her. Take me to save her. Yang Wu didn't say anything. He helped Yang Manmi onto Zhu Ba's body and shouted. Young master, don't be impulsive. The other side has many people. With just the few of us, I'm afraid. Yang Yifan stopped him. Without waiting for him to finish, Yang Wu interrupted him and said, Lulu is our family. If we don't save her, who else can we save? Even if it's a dragon's pool or a tiger's den, we must rush in. Yang Yifan and Yang Manmi heard Yang Wu's firm tone. Their hearts trembled. They no longer hesitated and followed Yang Wu to save her. On the way, Yang Yifan and Yang Manmi told Yang Wu the specific situation. It turned out that the people of the Yang family found each other through the connection of their jade pendant. They were prepared to look for Yang Wu. On the way, they had some gains and encountered some dangers. However, they worked together to resolve them and each of them won some victories. It wasn't until they met the people of the Battle League that they realized that the people of the Battle League were also deliberately searching for their location. They wanted to catch them all in one fell swoop. The people of the Battle League were led by the people of the Xing family. Among them were the prodigies of the Lu family and the Li family. There were also some prodigies from other forces. They were quite powerful. They had already gathered many people. It was easy for them to deliberately target the people of the Yang family. If Yang Yifan and Yang Manmi didn't work together to release the power of the Black Tortoise's righteous body, they wouldn't have been able to escape. Yang Lulu, on the other hand, fell into the hands of the people of the Battle League. The people of the Battle League aren't afraid of being killed, Yang Wu said with a trace of strong killing intent. Not too far away from them, there were a total of 52 people of the Battle League gathered together. In this space, there were quite a lot of people gathered together. Yang Lulu was tied to a stone pillar. Her body was covered in wounds. Some of her indecent parts could be faintly seen. However, no one was interested in her. Yang Lulu's appearance was too ordinary. In front of all the female prodigies, she was definitely an ugly duckling. There were also female prodigies in the Battle League. The other men didn't show too much of their thirst. An extremely beautiful man appeared in front of them. No matter if it was a man or a woman, all of them revealed an aggressive look at him. Wow, where did this girl come from? She's really beautiful. Look carefully. This guy seems to be a man. Why is he so beautiful? My heart is beating just looking at him. He's so handsome. Look at his hairstyle. Look at his posture. Every movement is so seductive. My heart is beating so fast. According to the Jade token, this guy's name is Lu Ji. His victory rate is 0. Looks like he doesn't have much combat power. He's walking towards us. Could it be that he wants to join our Battle League? I'll go and ask him. A man who was more beautiful than a woman stood in front of dozens of prodigies. Looking at the girl tied to the stone pillar, he said with heartache, "Lulu, I'm here to save you." Chapter 1051. The 52 members of the Battle League were all elite. Moreover, there were also the prodigies of the Battle Tribe among them. Their battle chi was unique, and it was not difficult for them to take on 2 opponents at once. Lu Ji looked so weak that he could not even stand a gust of wind. How could he take on 52 people at once? When Yang Lulu saw Lu Ji, she screamed with all her might, Go quickly, I don't want you to care about me." She screamed so loudly that she even coughed up blood. Lu Ji revealed a gentle expression and said, "Silly, I'm your man. How can I not care? Wait for me." Before this, Lu Ji and Yang Lulu had only expressed their feelings for each other. They had not broken through the last barrier. Now, with Lu Ji's words, Yang Lulu's line of defense was completely torn apart. She could not help but cry wildly. She cried and laughed at the same time. All along, she did not have any confidence in front of Lu Ji. Even if her cultivation level was higher than Lu Ji's, Lu Ji was just too good-looking. She could only be considered as the ordinary kind. She felt that there was no way she could match up to Lu Ji. Even if she sacrificed herself to save Lu Ji, and Lu Ji developed feelings for her, she still deliberately kept a distance from him. She did not have any confidence in her heart. Now Lu Ji came to save her alone. She was extremely touched, and felt that her life was not in vain. Even if she had to die now, she would be willing. She only hoped that Lu Ji could live well. "Even if you are a man, I still like you very much. I don't mind taking you in as a descendant of mine. Surrender obediently," an incomparably strong man riding a male lion said as he rushed towards Lu Ji. This person's battle prowess was only at the advanced dragon transformation realm. His realm was average among the many sky prides, but one could not underestimate him. Everyone who was qualified to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss had extraordinary trump cards. If one underestimated him, one might fail miserably. Lu Ji's strength was even lower than the other parties. He was only at the intermediate dragon transformation realm. Entering the Dragon Phoenix Abyss with such strength was simply courting death. "Gundam, you must be gentler. Don't torture this little lady too much. I also want to pamper her," someone from the back of the league shouted. "Don't worry, I'll capture him alive," the man called Gauda said confidently. At the next moment, he stretched out a palm and grabbed out toward Lu Ji's neck. It was like an eagle grabbing a chick, not taking Lu Ji seriously at all. He laughed coldly in his heart. What can an intermediate dragon transformation realm cultivator do? Just as his palm was about to land on Lu Ji's throat, Lu Ji also began to move. Let's start with you. Lu Ji was a good person. He was not as bloodthirsty as Yang Wu. His hands were almost never stained with blood. In the past, even if he saw blood, he would faint. Now that he had the intention to kill, it meant that he was really angry. Lu Ji narrowly dodged Gao Da's grab. A hand seal flashed and slapped toward Gao Da's temple, which was the most vital part. Lu Ji's movements were not fast. They seemed to be a little slow, but Gao Da actually could not dodge. He felt that this hand seal seemed to be everywhere. In an instant, it hit his temple. Bang! Gao Da's head shook. His head was not directly smashed. He only shook a little and did not fall off his mount. That male lion was still pouncing toward Lu Ji to bite him. Lu Ji still managed to dodge, but a part of his sleeve was bitten off. If he had been a little slower, his hand would have been gone. Little girl, your strength is really weak. Gao Da rubbed his head and shouted. He attacked again. He still grabbed with his palm. His speed was 2 to 3 times faster than before. He felt that he would definitely be able to catch Lu Ji this time. Lu Ji walked with crooked steps and once again dodged Gao Da's grab. To outsiders, it looked like he had almost been caught, but he was lucky enough to dodge. Gao Da was a little angry. He jumped down from the male lion's back and grabbed at Lu Ji again. Lu Ji retreated again and again, dodging again and again. He dodged Gao Da's grab every time. A member of the Battle League laughed and said, Gao Da, if you don't use your real strength, you won't be able to catch him. Can you do it? If you can't, let me do it, someone else said. How can a man say he can't do it? I'll catch him for you to see. Gao Da shouted. Battle aura spread out and enveloped Lu Ji, completely locking onto Lu Ji. His palms grabbed at Lu Ji's shoulders like eagle claws. This time, Lu Ji did not dodge. His aura had been locked onto by the other party. It seemed that he could only be slaughtered. Just as Gao Da was about to grab Lu Ji used his ultimate move, crotch kick. The kick still looked slow, but it was actually very fast. It landed solidly on Gao Da's genitals. Roar! This place was extremely fatal. After Gao Da was kicked, he immediately howled in pain. Now! Lu Ji's eyes flashed with a trace of ruthlessness. His palm once again slapped toward Gao Da's temple. This time, there was a trace of yin and yang power. This was his real strength. Just now, he was just pretending to be weak. Poof! Gao Da had no way of dodging. Lu Ji's attack was too strange, making it difficult for him to detect any movement. Furthermore, he was in pain and his reaction speed was reduced. He was hit solidly in the temple, and fresh blood burst out from that weak spot. His body fell limply to the ground. Gao Da was dead. Lu Ji obtained the first victory. He was also the first person he had killed with his own hand. The people from the Battle League were dumbfounded. They really did not understand how Gao Da had been killed just like that. They suspected that this was an illusion. Roar! Gao Da's mount roared angrily. A terrifying lion's roar erupted and charged toward Lu Ji. Lu Ji covered his ears and kept retreating. It looked like he really could not withstand this sound wave attack. The lion leaped over. Its strong and powerful body crashed into Lu Ji. Its bloodthirsty mouth was about to bite Lu Ji to death. Lu Ji retreated again and again. His body still looked crooked. It did not look like any brilliant footwork, but he still dodged the lion's bite. Immediately after, Lu Ji seized the opportunity to flip onto the lion's back. His 2 fingers stabbed toward the lion's eyes. The tragic lion did not have time to shake Lu Ji off before its eyes were blinded by him. Roar, roar! The lion roared angrily. Its body kept churning. Lu Ji could not withstand it and rolled down from the lion's back. At the same time, a sword appeared in his hand and he slashed at the lion's leg. The lion's leg was cut off. Its body fell to the ground, crying out in pain. Lu Ji quickly pounced over and gave him the last blow, killing him completely. All of Lu Ji's attacks seemed to be carried out smoothly. There were no powerful battle skills. It was as if he had taken down this man and his mount by luck. Lu Ji wiped the blood from his face and said to himself, "Lucky, lucky? Gouda is really useless. I will take revenge for him." Another person rushed out, a long spear stabbing toward Lu Ji. This person did not underestimate his opponent like Gouda did. His 1,000 feet of profound chi was like a python. In the blink of an eye, it was in front of Lu Ji's chest. He wanted to kill Lu Ji with one stab. Lu Ji was so scared that he rolled to the ground. Once again, he dodged the spear by luck. The person who came was no longer careless. He exploded with the power of the spear, enveloping a large area in front of him. Lu Ji had nowhere to hide. Lu Ji rolled up. 2 different lights seemed to flow in his eyes. His body was still dodging left and right, brushing past the power of the spear. His clothes were torn, revealing the sacred armor underneath. It blocked the power of the spear and did not injure his body. "I don't believe that I can't take you down." The person frowned and shouted. Snakes of spear rose from all directions. Suddenly, the power of the spear transformed into pythons, completely surrounding Lu Ji. They did not give Lu Ji any chance. They wanted to kill Lu Ji in one move. Even a half-saint might not be able to withstand the power of this move. The opponent was serious. What a pity for such a delicate woman. He is a delicate man. They are all about the same. Yang Lulu's tears could not stop. She was heartbroken. She wanted to struggle and help Lu Ji. Unfortunately, the rope tied to her was of the half-saint level. No matter how she struggled, she could not escape. It was also at this moment that profound energy flowed through Lu Ji's body, and the energy of yin and yang intertwined and flowed. He pushed his palms forward, and it formed a circular millstone that blasted the attacks of the pythons away. Moreover, he was blasted far away as well. "You really blocked it. Again." The person was shocked. He realized that Lu Ji must have been hiding his strength. He no longer had the slightest bit of carelessness. He exploded with all his strength and launched a series of attacks. Many spear shadows formed a group of pythons. They wreaked havoc in this part of the world, making it impossible for anyone to hide. Many cracks appeared on the ground from the bombardment. Many gravel sputtered in all directions. The surging profound chi concealed the situation of the battle. No one saw that Lu Ji's speed suddenly increased. He took snake-like steps and shuttled through the spear shadows. The lines on his palms were suffused with an extremely strange power. It was like the power of array patterns that bound the opponent. The person was shocked. He could not struggle free from the shackles of these forces. Before he could call for help or tear the imperial edict apart, Lu Ji took out a long sword and pierced his throat first. The person's eyes widened. He was very unwilling to die like this. When the power of the profound chi dissipated, everyone just happened to see Lu Ji holding the sword and piercing the person's throat. This scene instantly shocked everyone. If it was said that Lu Ji had taken down Gundam by luck, they would believe it. However, Lu Ji had killed another one of their people. No matter what, they did not believe that it was a fluke. This guy had hidden a trick up his sleeve. What a scheming person. This person cannot be left alive. Quickly take him down. We must not be careless again. The leader of the Battle League said faintly. Immediately after, 3 people rushed out at the same time. These 3 people were all at the peak of the dragon transformation realm. Was it not enough to deal with a mid-level dragon transformation realm warrior? Lu Ji slowly pulled out his sword and threw a pill into his mouth. A trace of indescribable confidence appeared in his eyes. He muttered, "All of you deserve to die." Chapter 1052. Lu Ji was Yang Wu's chief strategist, and Yang Wu was a top-notch alchemist. Would he be lacking in pills? Originally, Lu Ji was not qualified to enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss with his strength. However, after Yang Wu killed the people from Mount Amei, he obtained a few jade tokens. One of them was given to Lu Ji privately. Putting aside his relationship with Lu Ji was worthy of a jade token based on his yin-yang combat body. Lu Ji had the yin-yang combat body. Before Yang Wu made this decision, he had thought about it for a long time. Lu Ji had always been resourceful. He was good at setting up formations, but he did not seem to be good at fighting. However, he had stayed with Yu Chang for half a year. Yu Chang should have taught him some life-saving technique. Moreover, Yang Wu also hoped that Lu Ji would waste his yin-yang combat body talent and enter the Dragon Phoenix Abyss to train. Perhaps it could stimulate his fighting spirit. As expected, Lu Ji was serious this time. It was not easy for him to fall in love with a woman. He definitely did not want his woman to be killed like this. He consumed a dragon transformation pill, a pill that could rapidly increase his realm. This was one of the emergency pills that Yang Wu gave him. It was a triple tribulation dragon transformation pill. It had almost no side effects. After consuming this pill, Lu Ji's aura rapidly increased. The yin and yang qi completely appeared on his body. The runes on his palms were suffused with an indescribable power. It was as if he could control the heaven and earth and reverse yin and yang. When the attacks of the three people were about to land on him, his eyes flickered with a strange light. One of his eyes was like the sun, and the other was like the moon. The sun and the moon shone together. An indescribable power was triggered. He shouted, "Stop!" At this moment, the attacks of the three people seemed to have stopped. The three people did not notice this abnormality at all. Even the people from the Battle League, who were not far away, could not sense it. This power was beyond their imagination. At the same time, he grabbed forward with both of his palms. The runes on his palms floated and formed the power of a killing formation. It tore towards the three people. Innate skill palm runes. Puff. By the time the three of them reacted, the array pattern formed by the palm print had already enveloped their bodies. In an instant, their bodies were torn apart. 3 pools of blood fell down. It was a ghastly sight. The members of the League were completely shocked. When Lu Ji had killed Gouda, they had been surprised. When Lu Ji had killed the second person, they had already taken him seriously. However, the 3 people they had sent out were all top-notch geniuses. How could they not even have the chance to react before being torn apart by the other party? He knows demonic arts. Someone gulped. What demonic technique? That's his innate divine ability. Everyone, be careful. Don't underestimate this guy anymore. Someone reminded. Then let's work together? Someone suggested. Before they could come to a conclusion, Lu Ji walked towards them step by step. A female prodigy from the Li clan shouted, "Wait for me to kill him." This female prodigy from the Li clan was not weak. Moreover, she had the support of the battle chi from the battle tribe. The power of the layers of the pagoda protected her tightly. First, she was in an invincible position. Then, she would attack Lu Ji. This time, Lu Ji did not use his own mysterious power. Instead, he activated the power of the medicinal pill. His own power continued to rise. Holding the battle sword, he met the woman's sword head-on. He did not continue to fight. Instead, he borrowed the power of the opponent's sword to dart in another direction. He moved quickly, as if he was going to save Yang Lulu. "Stop him!" the leader of the League shouted. Thus, a few more people charged towards Lu Ji. None of these people dared to hold back. They attacked with all their strength. They were determined to take down Lu Ji. Still, Lu Ji did not block them head-on. Instead, he dodged quickly and dashed in another direction. As his strength increased, so did his speed. He moved faster and faster. Every step he took seemed to have no rules to speak of, but it was also quite exquisite. Every time, he was able to perfectly dodge the attacks of those prodigies. A prodigy from the Lu clan was furious. He roared, "You pretentious guy. Stop right there." The golden murderous aura fluctuated, forming thousands of sword attacks that swept towards Lu Ji. This was a prodigy who could challenge an ordinary saint. Lu Ji could not dodge his attack no matter how hard he tried. At this moment, the power of the sun and moon appeared in his eyes again. There was a moment of pause around him. This moment was very short. It was almost a breath's time. No one could detect its existence. It was also in this breath's time that Lu Ji had already dodged the attack of the Lu clan's prodigy and dashed in another direction. The prodigies of the League attacked one after another. Dozens of people surrounded a martial artist who was about to enter the advanced dragon transformation realm. They all unleashed their strongest combat power. Some even used their innate abilities. However, he still managed to dodge their attacks by a hair's breadth. Don't chase him anymore. Everyone, chop him to death. The leader who was guarding Yang Lulu shouted. Thus, everyone spread out and formed an encirclement, trapping Lu Ji within. No matter how he tried to escape, he could not escape from their encirclement. He's really as hard to catch as a loach. Let's see how you're going to escape this time. Little girl, give up struggling. As long as you join our league, we'll let you live. We wanted to lure those from the Yang clan here. Who knew that they wouldn't dare to come? Instead, a beautiful man like you came. He even harmed a few of our brothers. It won't be easy to let him go. Stop talking nonsense. Kill him. He's breaking through. Everyone felt that Lu Ji was already a fish on the chopping board. They could do whatever they wanted to him. Just as they were about to attack, Lu Ji laughed maniacally. You ignorant fellows! Do you really think that you can bully me just because you have more people? Do you really think that I'm breaking through to fight you one-on-one? I, Lu Ji, am not that stupid. I was just teasing you. Now, it's time for me to get serious. You've hurt my woman. Go to hell and repent. At this moment, Lu Ji had entered the advanced dragon transformation realm. A true dragon with yin and yang energy roared behind him. The dragon's shadow was at least 3,000 feet long. It was incomparably domineering. This was the difference between the yin and yang combat constitution. It was the darling of the heavens. It was born to fight. Kill. The leader of the league jumped up and gave the order without hesitation. Dozens of people moved at the same time. Colorful energy enveloped Lu Ji. It was enough to kill a saint. It was enough to kill Lu Ji. Yin-yang rotation, time stop. Lu Ji gathered energy in his eyes. The sun and the moon rotated at the same time. The energy of heaven and earth stopped again. This was the legendary path of time. It was also one of the supreme martial arts that only the yin and yang combat constitution had the qualifications to touch. This kind of martial arts only existed in legends. It might not be seen even in 100,000 years. Unexpectedly, it appeared in Lu Ji's body. This was also the reason why he could dodge the opponent's powerful attacks many times. At the moment when time stopped, he swung his palms continuously, and dozens of demon cores and beast cores flew in different directions, landing in the places where he had just passed by. There were footprints there. When these demon cores and beast cores fell into the footprints, his palms quickly formed seals, and the lines on his palm connected with them. Suddenly, a strange phenomenon appeared. Swoosh! Countless rays of light floated from different directions. In an instant, they formed a light shield. A saint-level array was formed on the ground. When the holy array was activated, everyone's attacks fell on Lu Ji. At this time, Lu Ji had become the master of this small world. He grasped the energy in his palms and formed a light shield around him, blocking the waves of energy. Boom! Boom! This power was enough to kill a saint. However, it did not kill Lu Ji in the first place. The people here did not expect Lu Ji to set up a holy array in an instant. They all thought that Lu Ji had been blown to pieces by them. When the attack power disappeared, Lu Ji's voice rang out again. It's time for you to enjoy my counterattack. Floating slaughter array, kill for me. Lu Ji seemed to have transformed into a god. Controlling the power of the holy array, he attacked the League's sky prides around him. All the sky prides were taken aback. Sensing the saint energy, every single one of them panicked. How can he have the holy power? Did he use the power of the Imperial Edict? That must be it. Let's use the power of the Imperial Edict. Otherwise, we will be killed by him. So what if it's the power of the Imperial Edict? We can chop him into minced meat if we work together. No, this attack power seems to be the power of an array. Dodge it. Floating slaughter array. This was a holy array with an incomparably powerful killing power. It was one of the holy arrays that Lu Ji had obtained from Yu Chong, and right now, he had only set up the floating slaughter array. It was impossible to set up the floating slaughter array in a short time. Once the floating slaughter array was formed, even a half-step Ascension Realm expert could only defend against 1 or 2 attacks. However, the floating slaughter array in front of him was enough to kill a beginner saint. Coupled with Lu Ji's innate talent, he would not be afraid of a mid-tier saint. The power of a holy array was different from a person's aura. The former was real holy power and had a wider range of attack. The latter could only rely on one's own power to affect others. Its power was indescribable. At this moment, the power of the holy array was surging with terrifying killing power. It exploded under the feet of the Sky Prides. The power was comparable to that of a saint, and it blasted several Sky Prides into pieces. Boom! Boom! Chapter 1053. Each of the Sky Prides who could enter the Dragon Phoenix abyss was proud of their strength. They believed that they could fight against a half-step sage or even a true sage-level creature. Even if they couldn't win, wouldn't it be easy for them to escape? However, this time, the prodigies of the battle leagues saw what a real prodigy's strength was. How did this unbelievably beautiful man manage to set up a sacred array in the middle of a battle? No matter which sacred array master came here, they probably wouldn't have such ability. Other sacred array masters were powerful, but they didn't have Lu Ji's demonic wisdom. While he was fighting the prodigies of the battle leagues, he had already imprinted every detail of the sacred array on the ground. Coupled with his innate strength, he was able to support the sacred array. When the sacred array was activated, the place turned into a hell of Azura. Every line of the floating slaughter array contained the power to kill a saint. Under Lu Ji's control, the sacred array was filled with sacred array masters, crazily bombarding the prodigies. Most of these prodigies were wearing defensive armors, some of which were even saint-level armors. However, they couldn't withstand the power of the sacred array masters. They didn't have helmets on their heads. The sacred array masters were like dragon-slaying sabers falling on them. They couldn't resist at all and were split in half on the spot. The prodigies of the Xing, Lu, and Li families unleashed their combat strength and defense. They also tore apart the Sacred Edict's power in a short period of time, forming the strongest defense for themselves. They were panicking. They wanted to leave this hell of Azura as soon as possible. They didn't want to die here. They were all cursing in their hearts. The beautiful man who was flirting with them a moment ago had turned into a killing god in an instant. It was too terrifying. Lu Ji was in the middle of the sacred array masters. He could sense the prodigy's situation and their reactions clearly. He guided a beam of sacred array masters towards one of the prodigies who was rushing out of the sacred array masters. This beam of sacred array masters was like the power of heavenly thunder. It landed on the prodigy's body and shattered his armor. He didn't die, but his yellow and white parts were oozing out of his body. He begged, "Please, please let me go." Before he could finish his sentence, the second beam of sacred array masters had already landed and turned him into ashes. "In your next life, be a good person like me." Lu Ji sighed softly in his heart. If that prodigy heard Lu Ji's words, he would definitely die. Azura who killed people with a flick of his finger. A few more people rushed out of the holy matrix with the power of the Imperial Edict. Just when they thought they had escaped, more than 10 beams of holy power blasted out at the same time. Each beam of holy power was like a Buddha's knife, and each of them was fatal. "I don't believe that I can't escape." Cram. one of the geniuses from the Xing clan shouted. At the same time, he tore apart the power of the 3 imperial edicts to block the attack of the Holy Array. There were also other geniuses who continued to tear apart the imperial edict. They didn't want to die here. They had to charge out alive. After all, the power of an imperial decree was not made of paper. Moreover, there were people who possessed the power of a high-grade imperial decree. Once it was released, it would be extremely powerful. It was enough to completely block the power of the Saint Array. Haha, it's blocked. It's blocked. One of the geniuses cried out in joy. Just as he was feeling proud of himself, a sword aura slashed across his neck, decapitating him with a single slash. When his head fell to the ground, the smile on his face was still there, looking very strange. The other prodigies rushed to the walls of the Sacred Array Masters. They thought they could escape. Who knew that it would be even more tragic? The floating slaughter array's strongest power was contained in the walls of the array. A large number of sacred Buddha blades slashed at these prodigies. Puff! It didn't matter if these sky prides had imperial edicts or sacred armors, they were all sent flying by the force. The power of the imperial edicts couldn't do much, and the sacred armors became tattered. They couldn't withstand the high-speed operation of the sacred array. Lu Ji was too strong. He said coldly, "None of you can escape. Give up struggling. Spare me. I won't be your enemy anymore." Sob sob. "Master, spare me. I'll be your slave. I won't go back on my words. Master, master. I'm willing to give you everything. Please spare me. You demon. I won't let you go even if I become a ghost." Please rang out one after another. There was an endless stream of cries and curses. Unfortunately, they were all blocked by the Sacred Array Masters. No matter how they screamed or cried, the beautiful man's heart did not soften at all. His face was still cold. Although it was his first time killing, he had seen more dead people than the prodigies in front of him. He had once been a soldier of the Death Army on the battlefield in the mortal world. Those who had fought there had a resolute heart. If the enemy doesn't die, I'll die. At this time, Yang Wu led the Yang family people and rushed over at the fastest speed. Yang Wu was faster than the others. He could not wait for the others to catch up. He rushed to Lu Ji's position first. He thought to himself, "Beautiful military advisor, don't be rash. Wait for me." Lu Ji's position in his heart was equivalent to the skinny monkey Sun Do. They were both his brothers. If anyone died, he would go crazy. When he was about to reach Lu Ji's position, he saw that there was a Sacred Array Master in front of him. The terrifying lethality made even him feel a great pressure. He looked at the scene and was slightly stunned. Could it be the Sacred Array Master was definitely not a saint-level creature? It was the power of a sacred array. Yang Wu still had the ability to see. How could a sacred array be activated in this place? Could it be an ancient array left behind here? Yang Wu hoped that it was a sacred array set up by Lu Ji. That way, Lu Ji would definitely be fine. However, how long had Lu Ji practiced the art of setting up sacred arrays? Even if he could set up a sacred array, who would give him the time to set it up in a battle? The closer he got to the sacred array, the more he felt that it was possible that Lu Ji was there. Just as he was thinking of a way to break into the sacred array, the power of the sacred array descended. Slowly, the power in the surroundings calmed down. Dust was blown all over the sky. However, he could already vaguely see the figures inside. One of them was tied to a stone pillar. Another was standing with a sword in hand. The rest were piles of broken limbs. Countless blood stained the place. It was like a bloody hell. No matter who saw it, they would vomit on the spot. Yang Wu's stomach was also churning. It was just like when he saw the Sky Tyrant Demon eating a living person. He felt extremely disgusted and uncomfortable. He had seen a lot of dead people, but when he saw these broken limbs and disgusting organs everywhere, he really couldn't accept it. Beautiful, beautiful military advisor, you. Yang Wu could still see Lu Ji's appearance clearly. He could not help but call out softly. At this moment, he felt that Lu Ji was a stranger. He felt like a merciless executioner. He was an Azura demon. There was not a trace of emotion in his eyes. There was only merciless killing intent. Where was that arrogant and conceited beautiful military advisor? Lu Ji did not reply. He was standing in the middle of the disappearing sacred array. The blood on the sword in his hand was no longer dripping. His mind was blank. He seemed to have forgotten everything that he had just done. Yang Wu endured the nausea in his stomach and walked over to Lu Ji. He opened his mouth again and said, "Beautiful military advisor, I am Yang Wu. What happened to you?" Lu Ji looked back at Yang Wu. There was finally a trace of emotion in those cold eyes. He said calmly, "My lord, you're here." Then, he looked at the tied-up woman and laughed foolishly. These people deserve to die. After saying that, he fainted and fell to the ground. Yang Wu's eyes were sharp and his hands were fast. He quickly rushed over and held Lu Ji in his arms, not letting him fall into the pool of blood. At this moment, several figures appeared nearby. These figures were not from the Yang family. They were the geniuses from Wudong. Among them were 2 of the 7 heroes of Wudong. They were the first sword, Song Qing, and the third sword, Ba Zhenxiong. Song Qing was an elegant swordsman. He looked a little mature. He had a small beard. His long and narrow eyes were more beautiful than the eyes of ordinary women. He was wearing a navy blue robe. He had the demeanor of a scholarly swordsman. Among the 7 swords of Wudong, Song Qing was the oldest and the most powerful. He was the most promising genius to take over the position of the head of Wudong. Ba Zhenxiong looked like a rough man. He had a full beard and a pair of angry eyes. He was not very tall, but his limbs were very well developed. He carried a huge sword on his back. Every step he took left a deep pit in the ground. It was obvious that his strength was extraordinary. Eldest senior brother, here. When the disciples of Wudong saw the broken limbs on the ground, they did not even have time to speak. They vomited on the spot. The others did not have a good time either. They bent over and vomited. Only Song Qing and Ba Zhenxiong were able to resist the urge to vomit. However, their expressions were not good at all. They had always been chivalrous, opposed cruel acts, and exterminated all evil. In their eyes, this blood-red hell must be the work of evil demons. Eldest senior brother, I can't take it anymore. I want to kill them. Ba Zhenxiong shouted loudly. He was a man who had a clear distinction between love and hate. He hated evil as if it was his enemy. He was not good at hiding his emotions. When he saw this scene, he also wanted to kill. Let's figure out what's going on first. Song Qing had always been a person who planned before taking action. He was the most calm person. He also knew when to speak. Eldest senior brother, what time is it now? They must be from the House of Blood Fiend or the Ghost Cult. Even if they are not good people. I will punish them on behalf of the heavens. After Ba Zhenxiong replied, he did not care about Song Qing's obstruction. He pulled out his huge sword and rushed towards Yang Wu and Lu Ji. When the sword came out of Wudong, the sky was filled with chivalry. Chapter 1054. The 7 heroes of Wudang enjoyed a reputation of chivalry in Jianghu. There were not many chivalrous youths who could compare with them. Each of them was a famous hero. Among them, Ba Zhenxiong was a gravity-type swordsman. His huge sword momentum carried a torrential sword light towards Yang Wu and Lu Ji. When they arrived, they saw Lu Ji standing in the field. Yang Wu and Lu Ji were together. In their eyes, they were both evil people. Ba Zhenxiong's strength was not inferior to that of a semi-sage. This was only half of his strength. He did not use his full strength. He wanted to test the opponent's strength first before making a plan. This was his battle experience. Yang Wu only knew the 5th hero, Zhang Mingshan. He did not know Ba Zhenxiong. The mysterious phoenix sword appeared in his hand. He raised his hand and blocked Ba Zhenxiong's huge sword. Just as he was about to explain, Ba Zhenxiong's sword momentum suddenly changed. Even he was caught off guard. Golden Soul suppressing strike. The huge sword in Ba Zhenxiong's hand shook continuously. It hit Yang Wu's mysterious phoenix sword 7 times in a row. The power of each hit shook the mysterious phoenix sword. The crisp ding-dang sound could even shake the soul. Moreover, there was a hidden power from the mysterious phoenix sword that fell on Yang Wu's arm. If Yang Wu's strength was weaker, the mysterious phoenix sword would have fallen out of his hand. Moreover, his arm would have been injured by the transmitted power. This was a unique sword move that killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Ba Zhenxiong had defeated many opponents with this move alone. Yang Wu held Lu Ji in one hand and quickly retreated. He did not want to be entangled with Ba Zhenxiong. Ba Zhenxiong's sword skill was brilliant. He was afraid that he would hurt Lu Ji. "Where are you going?" Ba Zhenxiong was surprised to see that his opponent was not injured by his move. He realized that his opponent was a first-class Heaven's Pride expert. He did not dare to hold back and increased his strength again. Bursts of golden xian qi like rainbows once again slashed towards Yang Wu. Yang Wu frowned and shouted, "Do you really think I can't do anything to you?" In the next moment, the mysterious phoenix sword in Yang Wu's hand unleashed an extremely powerful sword skill. Like a meteor catching up with the moon, the sword radiance burst forth and clashed with Ba Zhenxiong's golden sword radiance. Ding-dang, ding-dang! In the blink of an eye, a burst of sparks flew continuously. Many sword shadows collided and intertwined, and the sword force was incomparably dense. Yang Wu single-handedly blocked Ba Zhenxiong's attack. Ba Zhenxiong didn't give up and attacked again. His strength increased once more, and his unique hidden energy landed on Yang Wu's arm wave after wave. Even Yang Wu had a feeling that he couldn't get rid of it. An ordinary half-step sage's hand would have been crippled by now. Even a level 1 celestial saint wouldn't have been able to endure it. His opponent's swordsmanship was extremely unique and difficult to counter. Yang Wu had the sacred dragon body, so he could ignore the destruction of these hidden forces. However, he couldn't let this go on for a long time. He had to take a counter-offensive. Star's sword art. Yang Wu's sword intent fluctuated, and the power of the sword radiance crazily swept over. Sword shadows flashed like stars and instantly enveloped the surrounding 2 miles. One sword strike after another frantically slashed towards Ba Zhenxiong. This was Yang Wu's true strength. It was a sword skill that could kill a saint. Ba Zhenxiong was alarmed. He held his sword with both hands and changed his sword stance again. He blocked and blocked Yang Wu's attacks with all his strength. His strength was still inferior to Yang Wu's. When Yang Wu really went all out, he couldn't block it. Many sword shadows broke through his defense and landed on his body, cutting his clothes. Fortunately, he had defensive armor, otherwise he would have been injured. Ba Zhenxiong was forced to retreat several dozen meters by Yang Wu. Several deep wounds appeared on his arms and thighs. Song Qing rushed over with Wudong's disciples and exclaimed, "Third junior brother. Eldest senior brother, I'm fine. This young devil is very strong. I have to use my trump card to kill him," Ba Zhenxiong replied. The power in his dantian erupted, and his body seemed to have improved by a notch. His bulging muscles burst out with an extremely powerful force, and the huge sword in his hand flickered with golden light. He shouted, "Demon, take another strike from my sword." Colored glaze golden body. Hall of gold and jade. The power of the glazed golden body was comparable to that of a saint physique. This was Ba Zhenxiong's powerful secret skill, which greatly increased his combat strength. He slashed out with a sword move that contained dense sword intent. A large amount of golden light swept out. Everything within a radius of a few miles was within his killing range. The explosive power was incomparably powerful. Even a first-grade star pattern realm saint's full strength could only be compared to this. He could challenge a second-grade star pattern realm saint. Yang Wu didn't expect the opponent to be so difficult to deal with. He didn't hold back and slashed out with the starry sword Shadow again. The power of the stellar transposition collided with the opponent's golden sword Shadow, forcibly blocking the opponent's attack. Just as Yang Wu was about to counterattack, Ba Zhenxiong took the initiative to approach. The huge sword slashed horizontally at Yang Wu's waist. The domineering sword light was extremely threatening. This was Ba Zhenxiong's ultimate sword move. Yang Wu reacted quickly and blocked with the mysterious phoenix sword. When he came into contact with the opponent's attack, he found that his mysterious phoenix sword was shaken away. It seemed that there was an inexplicable pushing force that made him unable to control his body. His waist was slashed. Devil Slayer! Ba Zhenxiong roared. He wanted to cut Yang Wu in two. His determination to slay the devil was incomparably firm. Get lost! Yang Wu was also angry. The black tortoise battle armor appeared and forcibly deflected the power of Ba Zhenxiong's sword. However, the power of the sword qi still fell on his body, cutting his waist and abdomen. A trace of blood seeped out. The sacred dragon physique was actually injured. It was clear that Ba Zhenxiong's sword move was really terrifying. Yang Wu really underestimated the opponent's fighting strength. However, all of this should be over. When he deflected Ba Zhenxiong's attack, Yang Wu put away the mysterious phoenix sword and blasted it on the side of Ba Zhenxiong's body. Ba Zhenxiong vomited blood and was sent flying. Just now, Yang Wu was blindly defending. He didn't think about dealing with the opponent. The opponent obviously misunderstood them. However, the opponent wanted to kill him. Naturally, he couldn't be merciful. Third junior brother! Song Qing exclaimed. He quickly rushed towards Ba Zhenxiong and caught him. It was also at this moment that Yang Wu attacked again. Palm shadows containing torrential river water fell from the sky and enveloped Song Qing and Ba Zhenxiong. No matter where they came from, he would first take them down and then deal with them. Ladder cloud flight. Song Qing's reaction was extremely fast. After catching Ba Zhenxiong, he took ingenious steps and quietly dodged Yang Wu's attack, as if he had turned into a light breeze. Bang! Yang Wu's attack landed on the ground. In an instant, the hard ground was smashed into a deep pit. Dirt and debris splattered everywhere. You guys look after Zhenxiong. I will deal with him. Song Qing's face turned serious as he shouted. He threw Ba Zhenxiong towards the other Wudong brothers and prepared to fight with Yang Wu. Song Qingwu was the leader of the 7 heroes. He already had the qualifications to step into the Star Rune realm, but he didn't do so for a long time. He followed the teachings of the Wudong sect leader, and would only take that step after finding a sword Dao that was suitable for him. Of course, he also wanted to fight for the Wudong sect in this battle of dragons and phoenixes. Wudong and Shaolin Temple were sects that stood aloof from worldly affairs. However, they were both martial arts masters in the transcendent world. No matter how low-key they were, they still needed to protect their sect's reputation. Especially since Song Qing had been appointed as the new sect leader. He naturally hoped that the 7 heroes of Wudong could shine and help him take over as sect leader. After Song Qing felt Yang Wu's extraordinary strength, he took the initiative to attack. This kind of opponent was not easy to meet. Since he met him, he couldn't let him go. Senior brother, be careful. This demon is very powerful. Ba Zhenxiong warned. He had a few bones broken by Yang Wu's palm strike. He already knew that he wasn't Yang Wu's opponent, so he didn't force himself to attack. Yang Wu stared at Song Qing. He could sense a strange aura emanating from Song Qing. It was as though there was a unique field of energy in the surroundings that was completely controlled by Song Qing. Yang Wu mused in his heart, what a strange field of energy. These geniuses are all extremely powerful. I am Song Qing of Wudong. Your Excellency's friend has inhumanely slaughtered so many people. As long as you hand over your friend and are willing to turn over a new leaf, I will let this matter pass. If you are not willing, I am willing to exchange pointers with you," Song Qing said. "The leader of the 7 heroes of Wudong, great hero Song?" Yang Wu raised his eyebrows and said, "I don't deserve the title of great hero. It is my duty to eliminate evil and protect the good." Song Qing replied, "Then bring it on. Let me see the power of the 7 heroes of Wudong. Are you really not willing to surrender? He is my brother. No matter what evil things he has done, I will protect him." "I am sorry," Yang Wu said with certainty. He paused for a moment and added, "And I believe that he was forced to do this. It seems that I can only take you down and find out the truth." Song Qing sighed softly and walked toward Yang Wu. There was an invisible aura around him that moved with him. Yang Wu didn't hold back. He attacked again. The power of the river turned into a dragon and slammed towards Song Qing. Yang Wu didn't plan to hold back. Only by defeating him could they talk. When Song Qing saw Yang Wu's mighty palm coming, he used 2 of his fingers as a sword and shouted, "Defensive sword form." In the next moment, the invisible aura turned into a sword light and formed a sword shield. It blocked Yang Wu's river-breaking palm. "Demon Slayer form," Song Qing shouted again. His sword fingers pierced towards Yang Wu's forehead. In an instant, the wind and clouds surged. Countless sword forms with terrifying power stabbed towards Yang Wu at the same time. The power was extremely terrifying. So strong. Yang Wu raised his eyebrows and exclaimed. The black tortoise armor moved quickly. The palm shadows blasted out again and again. The explosive power surged. Boom! Boom! At this time, a voice shouted not far away, "Big Senior Brother, Saint Master Yang Wu, please stop." Chapter 1055. Song Qing was indeed worthy of being the leader of the 7 heroes of Wudang. The power of his aura was comparable to that of a level 2-star rune realm cultivator. The power of his aura was not condensed from an ordinary aura. It was the formless sword domain. It was the sword Dao that he had been exploring. Right now, the formless sword domain was only in its embryonic form. Once it became the real formless sword Dao, it could be called the top sword Dao domain. Yang Wu's palm technique was riddled with holes by the opponent's sword domain. If it wasn't for the black tortoise armor, Yang Wu would have been pierced into a hornet's nest. Yang Wu pushed his defense to the extreme and deflected many of the sword attacks back, so he was not injured by Song Qing. Just as he was about to fight with Song Qing, a voice interrupted their battle. They stopped fighting and looked in the direction of the voice. A few people were rushing towards them. These people were none other than the famous 7 heroes of Wudong. They were the 2nd sword, Yu Hong, the 4th sword, He Fengming, the 5th sword, Zhang Mingshan, and the 6th sword, Yin Bo. There were also 3 other Wudong disciples and a woman. That woman was Yin Suxian from the Sky's Severing sect. She had been sticking close to Zhang Mingshan all this time, afraid that others would not know about their relationship. The person who just spoke was the 5th sword Zhang Mingshan. "You guys are here too. I will talk to you after I take him down." Song Qing saw that it was his own people and nodded lightly. He was ready to continue to deal with Yang Wu. "Senior brother, he is the Saint Master Yang Wu. He is the benefactor of Wudang." Zhang Mingshan quickly rushed between the two and emphasized to Song Qing. "He is the Saint Master Yang Wu who sent junior brother Zhang An's bones back?" Song Qing thought for a moment and asked. "That's him." Zhang Mingshan hurriedly nodded. Then he turned to Yang Wu and cupped his hands. "Saint Master Yang Wu, I'm really sorry. I didn't know what happened between you and my brothers. Mingshan apologizes to you. 5th junior brother, you have to understand that they are extremely cruel people. The pile of broken limbs over there were all killed by the person in his hand." Ba Zhenxiong shouted loudly. The 7 heroes of Wudang were as close as brothers. They all knew each other's temperament. When Ba Zhenxiong said that, Zhang Mingshan could not help but look in the direction of the broken limbs. The other Wudong members also saw the situation over there, and their expressions instantly turned ugly. Wu Dang's 7 Heroes of Wu. Wu Dang of the 7 Heroes of Wu Dang. Dang's 7 Heroes of Wu. Wu Dang of the 7 Heroes of Wu Dang. Wu Dang Wu Wu of Wu. Wu 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 7 Wu Dang. Wu 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 Wu. Of Wu Dang. Only then did everyone turn their attention to her. Ba Zhenxiong asked, "Is she really a member of your Yang family? And not the person you tied up? You can use the jade pendant to sense if she is called Yang Lulu." Yang Wu glared at Ba Zhenxiong. Zhang Mingshan said, "There must be a misunderstanding. Why don't we figure out the ins and outs of the matter first?" At this time, Yang Yifan, Yang Manmi, Xia Zixio, Mei Zihao and the others finally arrived. "Young clan leader. What's going on?" Yang Manmi came to Yang Wu and asked. "It's nothing. You guys take care of Lu Ji and Lulu for me. I'll have a good chat with the heroes of Wu Dang," Yang Wu said casually. Then, he handed Lu Ji to Yang Yifan and asked Yang Manmi to save Yang Lulu. They all saw the broken limbs on the ground and vomited in disgust. Fortunately, they were all people with strong willpower. After saving the people, they quickly left that disgusting place. Yang Wu, sacred martial artist. "Can you tell us what happened?" Zhang Mingshan asked carefully. He paused for a moment and said, "We brothers hate evil. We really can't stand all kinds of killing. Please forgive us." Song Qing also said, "Since you are our Wu Dang's benefactor, I believe you are not an evil person. But your friend must give us an explanation." Yang Wu couldn't help but sneer. "Are you guys stupid? This is the battle between the dragon and phoenix. No matter who kills who, it is only to fight for the first place. If he doesn't kill those people will kill him. We are not as noble and righteous as you. Whether it was my brother who took the initiative to kill or those people who wanted to kill my brother, I don't need to explain this to you, nor do I need to hand him over to you. If you want to fight, then fight. I, Yang Wu, will accept." He also admired the 7 heroes of Wu Dang, but when it came to Lu Ji, he couldn't give in. "Saint Master Yang Wu, this is unreasonable. It is the battle between the dragon and phoenix, but there is no need to harm your own people, right? Even if you want to kill the enemy, you can just kill them with a sword. Why do you have to torture them like this? Only evil people would be so inhumane." Song Qing retorted righteously. Just as Yang Wu was about to respond, Yang Manmi whispered, "Lulu woke up. Let the person involved tell you everything. In short, if you want to harm my brother, I will definitely ask the 7 swords of Wu Dang for advice." Yang Wu was too lazy to be entangled with the other party. Everyone's path was different. The people of Wu Dang couldn't force him anymore. When the woman woke up and told them the whole story, they might be able to distinguish who was right and who was wrong. Yang Lulu was seriously injured. However, after taking a healing pill, her condition gradually improved. When she woke up, the first thing she worried about was Lu Ji's life. After knowing that Lu Ji was fine, she was completely relieved. Zhang Mingshan, as the peacemaker, walked over to Yang Lulu and asked her about what happened. Yang Lulu's condition wasn't good. However, she still gritted her teeth and said, "Those shameless people from the Fighting League wanted to use me to lure my brothers and sisters from the Yang clan so that they could catch all of us in one fell swoop. In the end, Lu Ji, he came first. In order to save me, he was almost killed by those people from the Fighting League. Fortunately, he set up a killing formation at the last minute and killed all of them. These people deserve to die." Zhang Mingshan could tell the truth from Yang Lulu's words. He had an inherent skill called discern lies by listening. This was an inherent skill of intuition. He could tell whether the other party was telling the truth or not. Therefore, Zhang Mingshan went back and passed on Yang Lulu's words to the other martial brothers. Only then did the people of Wu Dang realize the truth. Ba Zhenxiong even had a trace of shame on his face as he said, "I have wronged a good person. I will go and apologize to them." Daring to take responsibility for one's actions. This was the spirit that the 7 heroes of Wu Dang should have. "Let me go," Song Qing said after pondering for a while. "No, this matter was caused by me. I will go." Ba Zhenxiong had recovered some of his injuries. He stood up and walked towards Yang Wu's direction. Song Qing and Zhang Mingshan both followed him. Yang Wu looked at Ba Zhenxiong, who was walking towards him, and said, "You still want to fight?" Ba Zhenxiong bowed and said sincerely, "I was impulsive this time. Please forgive me, Saint Master Yang Wu. If you want to beat or punish me, just come at me." Yang Wu was slightly stunned. He did not expect the other party to admit his mistake so easily. If it was another Heaven's Chosen, they would not be able to let go of their face. "Saint Master Yang Wu, this is really a case of a flood rushing against the Dragon King Temple. We attacked first without asking for the reason. It is indeed our fault." Song Qing also admitted his mistake. Zhang Mingshan hurriedly said, "Saint Master Yang Wu, please be magnanimous and let this matter go." When Yang Wu heard Ba Zhenxiong's apology, half of his anger had already dissipated. Song Qing also apologized. What reason did he have to be angry? "All right, this matter is over. I will wake my brother up first. I also want to know what he did. Normally, he would not even dare to kill a chicken. This time, he must have been greatly agitated to lose control." Yang Wu replied. After a pause, he added, "Lulu is the person he likes." Now, everyone understood what was going on. No matter who it was, when their lover's life was threatened, they would completely go berserk. Yin Suxian quietly walked over and said, "She is a very happy woman." Her words had another meaning. Zhang Mingshan was inexplicably flustered. The Sky-Severing sect was a sect that was both good and evil. Among many famous sects, they were more inclined towards evil sections. Yin Suxian was passionately pursuing him. He felt very guilty. If not for the fact that the sect protector did not mind her existence, he would not have let her stick to him. At that time, the sect protector left him a sentence, "Leading people to do good is the true good." Zhang Mingshan was not a fool. The sect protector was obviously implying that he should be sacrificed to lead the witch to do good. Lu Ji was fine. He just fainted due to overexertion. After taking the Xianqi pill, he regained his strength and woke up. "Lord, quickly save Lulu." Lu Ji had just opened his eyes when he cried out to Yang Wu. Yang Lulu, who was at the side, had tears streaming down her face. Then, she threw herself into Lu Ji's arms and cried bitterly. At this time, everyone quietly distanced themselves from them, giving them some space to interact. "I really envy Lulu." Yang Manfan leaned close to Yang Wu and whispered. Yang Wu pretended not to hear. He said to Yang Yifan, "Yifan, go and clean up the battlefield. The people of the Fighting League will definitely not give up. This time, we have to take the initiative to attack. If they want to deal with us, they have to pay the price first." "Yes, young clan leader." Yang Yifan had been on the battlefield for a long time. He did not feel anything about the broken limbs and blood. His heart was incomparably strong. At this time, Zhang Mingshan walked over again and said to Yang Wu, "Saint Master Yang Wu, can we have a talk?" Thus, Yang Wu followed Zhang Mingshan and walked towards the people of Wu Dang. "Saint Master Yang Wu, you returned the remains of our junior brother Zhang'an. You are our benefactor. After our discussion, we are willing to listen to your orders until the end of the battle between the dragon and the phoenix," Song Qing solemnly said to Yang Wu. Chapter 1056. The Wudong sect had always been righteous and never participated in the conflicts between factions. They were a righteous sect that eliminated evil and defended the righteous path. This time, the Wudong sect disciples did not form a team with anyone in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. They only joined hands with their own disciples to compete for the rankings. Moreover, they continued to do righteous deeds here. It had to be said that they were a bunch of righteous people. Song Qing suddenly said such words to Yang Wu. Yang Wu was shocked. Listening to his orders in the Dragon Phoenix Abyss meant that the Wudong sect people were following his lead. The significance of this was extraordinary. If this spread out, it would have a great impact on the Wudong sect's reputation. Yang Wu made a prompt decision. No, this is not appropriate. Why is that? Could it be that Saint Master Yang Wu is looking down on us? Song Qing asked. Yang Wu shook his head. Shaolin and Wudong sect are both righteous sections. They are also the masters of the martial arts world in the transcendent world. If you listen to my orders, it will not be appropriate for this matter to spread. So this is what Saint Master Yang Wu is worried about. These are all false reputations. We Wudong sect disciples have never cared about them. As long as we have a righteous heart, we have a clear conscience. Moreover, we owe you a favor first. Song Qing said without hesitation. If you are doing this to repay the favor, I can't accept it. Returning a favor is not what a gentleman should do. It seems that we have been rude. If you really want to be with us, we can travel together. We can take care of each other. However, if there is an emergency, you can make your own choice. There is no need to worry about us. The Wudong sect people did not expect Yang Wu to reject their good intentions and make another request. Their impression of Yang Wu rose sharply. In their eyes, the latter proposal was within the acceptable range. After some discussion, the Wudong sect people agreed to Yang Wu's proposal. They could travel together. In another place, most of the members of the League had gathered together. Those who were not gathered together had either been killed or were too far away to be able to meet up with the rest. The League Master this time was a monster from the Xing family. His name was Prison Bearer, a very evil name. He claimed to be the fire emissary from hell and could control the flames of any disaster. Currently, Xing Yu had risen to the 15th place on the Heavenly Dragon leaderboard. He had obtained 44 victories. As long as he was willing, he could ascend to the top of the Heavenly Dragon leaderboard at any time, because he had more than 300 people under him. As long as these people chose to admit defeat in front of him, he could quickly ascend to the top. After all, he was the leader of these people, which meant that he was stronger than them. It was only a matter of a breath for them to admit defeat to him. However, it was not the right time to do so. He would only use this move when the battle was about to end. Not only him, but the leaders of the other forces would do the same. Apart from Xing Yu, there were two other Vice Alliance Masters. They were LV Li Tsue from the Lu family and Li Juanli from the Li family. Below them were many protectors, all of whom were extremely powerful. In the outside world, the League had gathered more than 3,000 Sky Prides from the War Race realm. Unfortunately, there were only 400 Sky Prides with Jade tokens. This was already a very high ratio. If it was not for the fact that the Ho, Qin, and Sun families did not recruit other Sky Prides, they might not have been able to gather so many people. Apart from them, there were even more Sky Prides from the Xianyuan family. In the outside world, there were more than 5,000 Sky Prides, and nearly 600 of them had Jade tokens. These people belonged to the Phoenix Palace. This was also why they were ranked at the top of the other forces. When they were united, it was very difficult for the other forces to take them down. Instead, they would be dealt with one by one. In the end, the title of Dragon Emperor might be given to them. Although this was suspected of cheating, it was also a kind of ability for them to make their subordinates admit defeat. After Prison and the others gathered together, their faces were covered with a layer of shadow. They had sensed from their Jade tokens that another elite force of the League had died in less than 2 hours. Who killed my Prison clan's Sky Prides? They deserve to die. The red-black-haired Prison couldn't help but roar. Prison looked like a 17 or 18-year-old youth. He had always been very steady and had a spirit that would not be shaken even if the sky collapsed. Now that several people from the prison clan had died, the anger he had been suppressing surged out. My Lu clan's people have also died. Could it be the demon clan's doing? LV Litsue frowned and said faintly. She was a woman of average appearance, but her figure was incomparably hot. The armor on her body could barely hide her ample bosom. It was enough to easily arouse the most primitive desire in any man's heart. They were responsible for killing the Yang clan's people. Could it be that they were killed by the Yang clan? Li Juanli also revealed an angry expression. Li Juanli was indeed handsome. He was like a pretty boy with a feminine temperament. He was the type that would be very popular with girls. The Yang clan only has a few people. How could they have such ability? Prison frowned and asked. I think it's possible, if they met Yang Wu. Another young girl opened her mouth and said. This young girl had an elegant and refined appearance. She wore a red dress that vividly outlined her exquisite figure. Her bare feet were sparkling and translucent, and they were extremely alluring. It shouldn't be Yang Wu. His win rate didn't change much. However, someone is very strange. He suddenly jumped from the bottom to the top 5. Li Juanli murmured as he sensed the ranking on the jade tablet. Who? LV Litsue asked. Someone called Lu Ji. He really could be the murderer who killed our people. Li Juanli said with certainty. At the same time, Prison also sensed the change in the jade tablet. He frowned and said, That's right. Our Battle League's people died suddenly, and that guy suddenly won 52 more matches. It's definitely him. Where did this dark horse come from? The information says that he's from the Marquis gang. What kind of gang is that? Marquis gang. Could it be the force that Sun Do formed? Someone asked suspiciously. No matter where he came from, since he dared to kill so many of our people, he must die a horrible death. He can kill so many of our people in one go. He definitely has a shocking trump card. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to do it. Our people all have Imperial Edict. If they want to escape, it's still possible. Then should we chase after him now? We'll remember this grudge. It won't be too late to kill him after we find the Dragon Phoenix tree. Lu Ji, an unknown person, suddenly killed his way into the top 5 of the Heavenly Dragon leaderboard. This name instantly became incomparably dazzling. This was another great dark horse. Lu Ji is one of Yang Wu's people again? At the place where the Ming gang gathered, the Ming gang's leader Kuan Mingzi said with a trace of thick killing intent. Kuan Mingzi had just obtained 50 victories and entered the top 5. However, before he could stay for half a day, he was pushed down by Lu Ji. Only then did he notice Lu Ji. Gang leader, should we gather the gang members and kill this person? Someone beside Kuan Mingzi asked. Sun Do, Yang Ba, Su Zhu, and Lu Ji are all people that must be killed unless they are willing to side with us, Kuan Mingzi said with a trace of cold killing intent. He paused for a moment and said, Now is not the time. We must first find more inheritances of the dragon race and the phoenix race. Let's put everything else aside for now. Then, what about the Ice Saintess? There will be people to deal with her. She won't live for long. Let her stay here with the true dragon and the phoenix. It will be an excellent burial ground. In another distant place, a man carrying a demonic staff had just smashed the head of a demon. When he sensed the change in the ranking on the jade tablet, he couldn't help but exclaim, Beautiful military advisor, when did you become so awesome? Is this still the beautiful man who faints at blood? No, I can't let him surpass me. Otherwise, he will strut around in front of Big Brother. Moreover, this guy is much smarter than me. If Big Brother only favors him, how am I supposed to live? I need a large number of opponents to increase my chances of winning. That's right, those guys from the Death God race. I must find their whereabouts. In another place, a young girl carrying a little hay dog led a group of vicious beasts in a certain direction. Along the way, all the creatures that met her avoided her. No one dared to provoke this great ant. What a joke! This young girl looked young, and her strength seemed to be average. However, looking at the group of vicious followers beside her, they wouldn't dare to provoke her even if they had 10 times the guts. They were wondering if this young girl was a native of the Dragon Phoenix Abyss. Otherwise, how could she bring a group of vicious beasts through the streets? Young Master Lu Ji's ranking rose so quickly. He has entered the top 5, the young girl murmured. Looks like little Wu has completed his yin-yang body. When I see that guy again, I will teach him a good lesson. He will become the war god of this world. He won't be inferior to that guy's Sun Do or even more terrifying, the little hay dog in her arms replied. Young Master's ranking has risen a little. However, he has only barely reached the top 1,000. I don't know what's wrong with him. He is such a good person. I'm afraid that he will be bullied by others. Little Hay, why don't you let me see young Master? Do you hate young Master? Silly girl. That brat is this immortal emperor's disciple. Why would this immortal emperor hate him? Not letting you get close to him is for his own good. With your help, that brat will be even less motivated to improve himself. Of course not. Young Master is very powerful. He has already become a top-notch saint alchemist. There are legends about him everywhere. I really want to go and find young Master. Don't be anxious. You will meet him very soon. Hurry in the direction I pointed. You will definitely meet him there. All right. If you lie to me again, I will definitely be very angry with you. Woof woof. That brat used a few lifetimes of fortune to make you so loyal.